That's right.
Quorum being present and accounted for, the meeting of the Water Quality Management Committee Thursday, May 30th will come to order. We have a lengthy agenda, and if we don't get to all of it tonight, we have another meeting in a week, so never fear. We'll get to the rest, but we'll move along as best we can. We have refreshments that will hopefully keep us moving as time goes by here. But we have a lot to do and a lot of that has some time deadlines to it. So we'll all be mercifully brief, I hope. Number one is a report on the May 21st town election results. The selectmen put question 1 on the ballot, which was the combination of the water quality items and the water treatment filtration items. It went to the selectmen and got their unanimous approval to put on the ballot in that form, and it went to the voters who approved it by a margin of 58 to 42. It won in every precinct except precinct 7 and precinct 9. It lost precinct 7 by 21 votes, and it lost precinct 9 by 3 votes. So if we had 24 more votes or switched 12, we would have carried every precinct, which is an amazing thing to say about a proposal that basically was expensive, complicated, and dealing with things that had organized
Opposition
in both instances. Mm-hmm. One nice thing about elections is they settle things. The question now is no longer, does the town of Falmouth want to go forward in this direction? The question is, how can we make it work? And I think for all of us on this committee and in this town, that was what the voters have asked us to do. We're going to make this work. And I want to thank everybody on the committee and in the town who supported this effort. We will endeavor to make it work. Any other comments would be welcome? I
would just say that we had a record turnout, that it was 40% so of the voters on the voting list. And that also speaks to the fact that the electorate was informed and they made a clear decision.
That really is true when you think about it. The average town election for the last 2 cycles has been 25%. Before that, it was 13%, as low as 13%. So a 41% turnout is probably the highest turnout in memory.
In memory, in our memory at any rate.
Yeah, I remember one in 1979 that was that high, but I can't think of any since. So the voters have spoken in numbers and decisively. And,
but only other thing I would offer is there was a committee set up to advocate folks to vote yes on one, and I think we should thank them for all their hard efforts in getting out there and making it happen as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. Right. Number 2 on the agenda, discussion and vote on the draft CWMP executive summary. Virginia has, if she were being paid, she'd be a rich woman for her hours that she has put in on this with Nate and with the committee and with all the interested parties who have to have input here. The executive summary and the following document add up to about 75 pages. We're going to review them all with all deliberate speed tonight, taking comment, but moving along. Keep in mind, both of these documents are a reiteration of what the Board of Selectmen already approved back in August of last year. So there is some new information because things have happened since August, but the basic elements are the same as the Board of Selectmen approved, as this committee approved, and as we've seen the town meeting and the voters have approved. So we're not here to reinvent or to redirect this effort. We're here to polish the final version so that it can go back to Boston in a clearer and more concise form. And it received its first approval up there, and we have a deadline of December to get the second approval. And when we get through, we'll with our recommendations, it'll go to the selectmen. they will accept it or change it or do whatever they want to do with it, but it then goes to the boss and from there.
Right. The two documents, which are agenda items 2 and 3, we're going to start with the executive summary. This is 13 pages. It is a very manageable document. With Sia's help, we have touched base with all of the committee members who are involved with the demonstration project, so I believe that a lot of the basic legwork of developing the language for the executive summary has been done, and I'm hoping that we will not turn up any major issues. The second document, which is the response to comments, becomes an appendix to the final that goes into to the DEP and to Boston. So in my mind, the public, the executive summary is the really important document that the public will see, that will be widely and easily distributed, and it has about 5 figures and 2 tables that go with it. So we're going to start with that, and as Eric said, we'll go through it.
I think the premise would be we'll go page by page, and any comments or suggestions for alterations we'll take on each page and then move on to the next page. Page 1.
May I just say, page 1 is basically in one page the vision of all of the different things we're working on. So if someone were to pick up this document on the first page, they'd get the scope of the whole effort that the town is making. And then all the subsequent pages give somewhat more detail. The body of the document will give the most detail.
When?
I have one comment on page 1.
Okay.
In the first paragraph, where you provide wastewater management plan for Little Pond, Great Pond, Green Pond, Bournes Pond, Eel Pond, and Walkwhite Bay watersheds, as well as for the West Falmouth Harbor watershed. I like that. But ES1, when we get to that, does not include Walkwhite Bay East, and I think it should. I think that we have gone past the point where leaving Walkwhite Bay East out is legitimate.
Okay, when we get to that section, we can look at it. In here is our intent to do regional planning, and it specifically talks about Walkwhite watershed, not making a distinction between east and west. I was presuming that it was the whole thing. So if that's not clear,
It's not clear.
okay, then we will pick it up there. Okay.
Ron?
On page 1, I have a few things. Some are just semantic, but this new addition, this is a change from what the selectmen have approved in the second line of the first paragraph, this targeted watershed management plan, which is a whole new thing that seems to have come from somewhere and materialized. It wasn't in the old one, and it's a whole, I know what it is. I mean, down below here it says something about what it is, but anyway, so.
Explanation?
It was forced on us. It is something new. It is the next level of planning that has occurred at the county level, and they have issued guidance at this point, which is sort of supposedly still in the public comment stage. But they have divided all the watersheds on the Cape into shared watersheds, which is obviously a watershed that falls within one town and another town, and, quote, targeted watersheds, which are watersheds that are wholly contained within an existing town. And for Little Pond watershed, that is a targeted watershed. So we have to define it as such. When we finally get to the development of regional impact, the Cape Cod Commission hearing, they will be using these words. And so it's sort of legally we are required to include these words because we will ultimately go through a hearing process with the Cape Cod Commission, and that's how they'll be describing us.
Okay.
Oh, you had a few more
I
before we get to yours.
I have a number of them, but on this point, I think we might want to define that because it's not clear that it doesn't state really that it's within Falmouth, for example. It's not a shared watershed.
Okay.
So it's just in that paragraph down below here.
Down
maybe
below.
Some language could be added that just explains.
First.
An added title of this document, maybe within the parentheses, it could explain what it
Okay,
is. I'm
wholly
not sure.
contained within the borders of.
You know, within a jurisdiction or whatever.
Well,
Reference the Cape Cod Commission guidelines to explain it.
well, that is referenced already, is
Yeah, that's
is a
in there.
required component to meet new regional Cape Cod Commission planning guidance. So the only factual point that Ron is making is that we need to explain that targeted describes a watershed that is wholly within the town's borders.
Right.
That's fair.
Okay, so that one sentence would be added. I'm going to depend on Sia and Nate to pick up on these. Okay.
Any objection to that? Okay.
Okay,
we'll-
so additional sentence that describes what targeted watershed
Yeah,
is.
Versus regional or whatever, shared.
Yes,
Yeah, shared. yeah.
versus a shared,
Yeah.
okay.
Then, okay, so and then the point 3 under ES point 1, this means anywhere outside the West Falmouth Harbor watershed, which I guess is what we're thinking about, right? It won't be in that watershed
Right.
per se, and we don't know. Okay, we have some ideas about where it will
Right,
go, but
right.
okay, but that's fine. And then the development of an adaptive management plan in the previous executive summary.
It may not have been in the executive summary in a very articulated way,
Okay.
but it is something that's required, particularly by the Cape Cod Commission. And it's our
Yeah.
vehicle for getting new information.
Yeah, these are just questions. I
Yes,
think it's fine. It's
that's
there.
fine.
I'm just sort of.
We're educating ourselves and we're also
Right,
educating the
right.
public.
Sure.
And then when we go down to the list under 5, A, B, C, D, E.
Okay.
We have under section ES 5.11, we have decentralized denitrifying septic system components or something. But that's not in this list.
Yes, it is, it's B.
Uh,
2 other initiatives that are not demonstration projects are expected. One is the fertilizer and the second is denitrifying clustered.
Wait,
Where's that?
Oh, so
Oh,
they
down
should be,
below.
they should be relettered as F and G then, since
Right.
they're both under
A
5.
good point.
Wait, I don't see
Right down.
That's why,
here.
because they're 2
A
A's
and
and 2
B,
B's.
yes.
It's B.
It's the second.
Oh, okay, yes, B, yes, B,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
right,
so, so at A, B, C, D, E, and then you're saying F and G?
That makes sense.
Something,
Sorry.
otherwise you
Well,
have
I
2
mean, we can move
5As.
them up, but I'm just saying it's within the same item as 5, to me.
Yes.
It's- Okay.
Okay,
So I think that could be put that way.
Okay,
And
F
then
and G.
possibly, sorry. Okay.
No, go ahead.
Then under this section here, I mean, this work that Steve Rafferty did on the, I don't know how we'll deal with this now, restorative dredging concept. We just started to touch on it, and whether we wanted to put it as some kind of something
No, it's-
fringe at the moment.
It's pretty fringe at this point. I mean, it certainly wasn't in any of the
Right, it
earlier
wasn't anything
iterations.
before, but now it's being kind of entertained at least a little bit. It seemed interesting to me at least, but,
I think we can't list everything that's interesting to us. I think
Here's
we have to
going to
stick
be
with-
my answer to fringes. It has not risen to being a point in executive summary.
Right.
It may have risen to the level that it could be a sentence in the
Somewhere.
text in the body of the report that indicates the various efforts we're making or looking at.
Well, in a sense, it's under number 4.
Well, you could also call it
Yeah,
that.
true.
Sure, yeah. All right.
okay, well, that's fine.
I mean,
that
not to
could
be
that-
listed, but
Okay.
there
It
are
could be
things
listed.
under 4 that none of us have
We don't
thought
know,
of.
right. That may
That's right.
come up then, as you say, under the
Okay.
adaptive management in the main text, that would be good. Then it wasn't clear to me why the evaluations of these projects, of these demonstrations, would be independent from this document. And how are they independent? They seem to be within the program.
Well, that's actually a very good tool because it allows us to be a lot more flexible and to add new information and to move faster on demonstration projects if they prove out. If you file a project as its own MEPA review, maybe I should refer to Nate, then it has its own legal description, it has its own hearing process, it has its own time scale for developing, and it doesn't get tied into. I'll put it this way: it is sometimes hard to anticipate something that might be able to move forward faster, or conversely, move slowly. So by having it as its own project with its own MEPA number, you get that latitude. Can you add to that?
I would, I'd add it, and this is a little bit of my own thoughts, I guess, is that, the reason why they're demonstration projects is that the feasibility of them still needs to be demonstrated for them to be acceptable to the MEPA review and for them to buy into it and say, yes, you're approved to go forward with that technology in this planning area. So given the fact that the town is going forward with them, has gotten town meeting money, is going forward with them, to demonstrate them provides, a great impetus, but the feasibility has not been completely demonstrated to the satisfaction of MEPA. And we received quite a few comments of, gee, with these demonstration projects, how are we going to approve that? And they aren't really approvable yet, because they're not specifically identified of how they're going to be implemented. So they aren't. There is a plan to do demonstration projects, but there isn't quite a plan to implement the feasible solutions that come out of those demonstration projects. And so there's going to be a time lag there where there is some immediate approval that the town wants to be able to go forward with these items that are identified here. And as the demonstration projects demonstrate feasibility as part of adaptive management, they would then go forward to gain MEPA approval and then be incorporated into the plan through a notice of project change. So it's quite a regulatory
procedure. Yeah.
That brings, that allows pieces to get approved and go forward now, also works a demonstration project into an adaptive management framework, and then identifies the procedure at which they would be incorporated into the plan at a later time, having proven having proved feasibility. And the regulatory agencies can feel comfortable that, okay, we don't have to dig into all those details right now. It'll come.
Okay. Do you have a specific change on page 1 that you'd like to make?
Well, I'm just trying to.
'Cause that's what we're doing here.
I know. I'm just trying to understand before I can make that, because this is new. I mean, it's something new. But the only thing I would tie this into then is that, I mean, it's understandable. We need to. It says here that we're going to determine like nitrogen reduction credit or whatever. However, it's termed several different ways in here. But it also says, in this table ES1. We're going to do a comparative cost evaluations, and in here it talks about, I think it's in this document, I don't remember exactly where, we're going to compare the alternative to demonstration, or we're going to do a comparative analysis.
On an ongoing basis.
On an ongoing basis.
On an ongoing basis, because the information's going to come in at different times. You don't want to not do any evaluation until 5 years from now we have all the data.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it's over this to 2017.
Right. So that's why the big bar and the
Oh, I
words
see.
say the same thing. They say an ongoing basis.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I was just getting caught.
So-
Okay. So anyway,
All set for page 1?
I'm set for page.
Okay, Wayne.
I want to go back to TWMP and just ask a question in TWMP at the top.
Oh, yes.
That thing up there.
Target, yes.
I saw one place, and this goes forward to a later time, but it may have something to do with page 1. There was a mention in the later stuff we're going to do that Oyster Pond would fall under a TWMP and would be folded into this process under a TWMP. Is that the way that we can bring Oyster Pond into the...
No.
This is...
Oyster Pond, Salt Pond, every other estuary that's not in here will be its own
Right.
targeted wastewater management
Right.
plan, unless it's a shared watershed like some of
Right.
those up north.
And its own comprehensive
Yes.
wastewater management
Right.
plan. It will be both of those,
Right.
and it will also be its own DRI.
I saw something saying it would be folded into the EIR eventually, somehow.
Yeah.
Nate?
That wasn't stated for Oyster Pond because Oyster Pond is not in this planning area.
That's correct, but somewhere in your answers to questions, you said it would be folded into, when we get to it, we can see
Yeah,
it.
when
Okay.
we find it,
Okay.
we'll-
Yeah.
I noticed
if it's
it
not
somehow.
right, we'll take it
But I
out.
guess to answer
Yeah.
your question, Oyster
Right.
Pond, and I
Yeah.
believe the way that this committee and your consultant for that project are moving forward is to call it a targeted
Right.
watershed management plan because it's wholly contained
Right.
within the
Got
town
it.
and it is targeted, yep.
Right.
Okay, any other comments on page 1? I only had 2 small ones, which is on 5B. Do we want to reference Bourne's Pond and Little Pond? I think Little Pond has sort of fallen off of the screen at the moment. And the other piece is on F. What we passed was a nitrogen control bylaw. At least that
You don't want it to say comprehensive fertilizer bylaw.
Okay,
You
but-
want it to say
what its name was nitrogen control bylaw. so-
nitrogen control
Could we
bylaw.
put in parentheses fertilizer so they don't get confused later when we come up with the flow neutral?
Sure.
I guess it's just,
Yeah, I think the word fertilizer should be in there.
Okay.
Okay, so
Where
parentheses.
is this on page?
Fertilizer, nitrogen control.
Might I suggest that we just change it to nitrogen control bylaw on this page, and you re-talk about it later on, you expand upon it. This is
Oh,
really the one.
This is the one-page summary.
This is the one
Yes.
page of what we've
Okay.
done, what we're
Okay.
calling
Right.
everything, what it's named
Right.
now.
Right.
And then the
Right.
explanations and the
Okay.
carry-on and the fuller story really
Right.
should be when you
Right.
read in a little further, I
You
would
got
say.
it.
and that could
Good.
be the same with.
Good enough.
The
Little
target-
pond,
I think
little
the-
pond thing.
Yeah.
That's, we
Yeah.
can manage, say that
I
it's a
would just
lot
offer the-
lower,
yeah.
it might come in later.
I just
Okay.
offer the whole definition of the targeted wastewater management plan and where that came from and all that.
All right.
That doesn't have to sit on this front page as long as it's
Okay.
in the document as somebody reads through it.
So we're saying that on this page, the words "and Little Pond" would not appear, but it'll appear in the text as a potential.
That would make sense, because in fact, we are not implementing anything on Little Pond.
That's correct. Okay.
Are we changing F or not?
We've changed F to read development and recent town passage of a nutrient control bylaw. Nitrogen, sorry, nitrogen.
Which you're doing for political reasons, but it's going to confuse the heck out of people because everything we do is nitrogen. We could almost be called the nitrogen committee.
But it's just not really confusing anybody because it's only saying it right on this page. And when you get into the section of the document that talks about that, it's going to explain what the nitrogen control bylaw is, how it has to do with fertilizers, et cetera, et cetera.
We could say fertilizer nitrogen control bylaw and be perfectly safe.
Okay. I'll agree to almost anything.
Keep that thought.
And that's just on
Right.
page 1.
Okay. And
All right.
unfortunately,
Anything else for page 1?
yes, item 3, number 3, new treated water recharge site.
Aha.
Site. Facility people think is a house or a building
Yes,
or something.
good point.
Okay.
Should say site.
Site.
Okay.
All right.
One quick one. Do we want to have a number 6 and say monitoring?
Yes,
Yeah, I think that's a good suggestion.
yes.
That comes inherent with all the options of
Yes.
a better monitoring plan that supports compliance, lack of a better word.
Yeah, it does. Monitoring is sort of part and parcel of everything. Anything that gets approved is going to have
Okay.
to be monitored.
It's part of the plan.
Yeah.
All right, so we won't break it out. Okay, that's page 1.
Page 2.
Ah. Oh, thanks, Eric. I have I have a number of things here as well. I guess recently passed townwide fertilizer management bylaw, which is now specified as that in this paragraph at the top, which should be consistent earlier, I guess, as well. It says passed by town meeting, because it's passed could mean it didn't really pass the state, right? So I'm just wondering if that's okay, just to leave it as.
It would have been approved if it came back from the state, but it's administrative.
Yeah, it did pass the town, and it may yet pass.
Yeah, well,
By the time this is
It may yet pass in other places.
Right, right.
Well, there's somewhere else, maybe in the main document where you explain,
We
and you
give the whole-
actually
chronology.
hint to you guys in the state, it's
Right.
in your court.
Yeah.
And that needs a little updating, but we'll get,
Right.
when we get there, we'll do
Yeah.
that. So.
Right.
Okay, page 2, anything else to,
Yeah, just
Yes.
a few things. It says, it provides environmental analysis that demonstrates the significant environmental benefits of the Little Pond.
Where are we?
This
First
is
paragraph.
the first
Second
paragraph
sentence.
of the second sentence of Little Pond watershed extension demonstrate that there will be no significant impact of treated water recharge. What demonstrates that? I don't know where that has been determined. That it will not, the intention is that it won't, but has it been assessed that treated water discharge, which I guess is from the treatment plant, will go somewhere.
it won't be approved unless it,
Right.
unless it
You're
conforms
right,
to
at this
that.
point, we don't have all the factual information, but
Okay, well, that's all, it was just, I would have, what I was asking the question is,
Right.
great, if it's been done,
Right.
but it's not done yet.
Well,
So, yeah.
this is a proactive document to some degree, because things are still under design, and information comes up under design, and there's still lots of other regulations that are in flux. So we write it as accurately as we can, and clearly the intent is wherever we discharge the treated water, it is not going to have a significant impact. We have to meet that standard.
Right.
Isn't this similar to the feasibility study argument? I mean,
I would say
if it's
demonstrate,
not feasible, why are we
Right.
putting it in this language is pretty concise. I mean, it says it
Yeah.
provides an environmental impact analysis.
Yeah.
well, right, I would just say, you might say, yeah,
So the document is a combined comprehensive wastewater management plan and environmental impact document. And the environmental impact document requires that the potential environmental impacts of the discharge, as well as the potential impacts of building a sewer and doing the other things, the things that are planned, will not cause significant adverse environmental impact.
If you just change it
That's
to
what we're
future
hoping to
tense
prove.
and will
We don't have
demonstrate,
that.
then you're
How about
okay.
that?
no, I think you can just, if
I
you,
think we're trying to be proactive in that.
I think we have an answer. Steve here says,
Just
it will
change it to the
will
future tense.
demonstrate.
It
there
will demonstrate.
no,
Or else we're not finished with it.
Right, that's right.
okay, it will, okay, that's fine.
Will
That's good.
demonstrate.
It will, okay.
Very good,
That's
yeah.
fine, okay.
Thanks for an English major.
And below, will demonstrate and will demonstrate
Yeah,
later.
that's fine, I was gonna do
Good.
something else, but that's better,
Okay.
okay.
What else?
Then in the next paragraph, this sentence that starts with "this means that," I would put parentheses 1 after that, and then a parentheses 2 before performance. It's hard to read this sentence without those numbers in it.
Yeah, it is a very long sentence, I agree with you.
So if you just number 1, 2, 3, 4, then you clear,
This
the
means
points are very
that.
clear. For me, when I read it,
Right.
I was,
Okay, so just 1, 2, 3, 4.
yeah, I would just say
Okay.
that this means that, one,
One,
the
the
plan
plan
is
is
developed in a such and
flexible.
such, and then 2, performance
Right.
testing demonstrates.
Right.
Okay.
Bullet them,
3,
Sure.
what?
Yeah, that's good.
bullet them.
Rather than numbers?
You can bullet.
Whatever.
Bullet's fine. Okay, whichever way. It
Okay.
was just, I got lost in
No,
what it
it's
was.
a long-
So,
And 3. So there would be 3 bullets.
4.
4, there's one at the bottom. New regulations, laws, blah, 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 okay.
Yeah, 4.
Okay.
All right. Actually, they should be.
I see,
All right,
okay.
Okay. And then, next paragraph, if people, well, I'll go paragraph by paragraph, but the development of a comprehensive wastewater, should we put comprehensive in there in the second line? Or is that different? Second line of, it is well understood that watershed, okay. The development of a comprehensive wastewater
Wait,
management
we've
plan.
been calling it CWMP the whole time. Now it's only WMP.
Right.
Do you want to?
I'm just suggesting it go in there.
Well, and this far into it, you can just abbreviate it, right?
Yeah.
If you've gotten that far and you don't know what a CWMP is, you've got problems.
Be prepared.
Well, either way, CWMP, okay, yeah, right.
Abbreviate it instead.
Yeah,
Right. That's a
Okay.
good, yeah, probably could do that throughout after this.
yeah, yeah.
No point.
And then, let's see, a little thing after the, I can't see what it was, but right after the word unknowns in the 4th line, I think whatever punctuation is there can be removed. If it's a comma, yeah, I don't think it's necessary. consideration. And then after the last line, save wastewater and insert the word treatment and nitrogen management costs.
The last line where?
The last line of that paragraph.
Oh.
The town of Falmouth, as an approach to save waste, we're not saving wastewater
Oh, it's saving
costs.
costs.
We're saving treatment costs, wastewater treatment costs. Right?
Yeah.
So just the word treatment in there would take care of that.
I mean, you don't buy your wastewater?
And then I just
Okay.
put on the end of it, to restore surface and groundwater quality.
Groundwater's not failing.
Okay, surface water. I put groundwater in because I figured that was,
So you're finishing out that sentence by adding to restore surface water quality.
yeah, we could say surface water
Protect the
quality,
environment, Protect water quality.
or whatever, yeah, okay. to
The
protect, yeah,
concept is
okay.
embraced to save wastewater treatment and nitrogen management costs
While restoring.
Wow.
while,
Or
But
to
you know
restore, the
everything.
objective to
That's
restore.
the subject of the whole thing.
You almost don't have to say.
Yeah,
it.
you almost don't have to say that.
Okay.
Stop right there.
Okay,
All right.
yeah, less is more.
Okay, anything else on page 2?
One quick question. Is it really at all 5 libraries? We just make a statement in here, is it?
I think that's right. It used to be, but I'm not sure it is now.
Good point. The smaller libraries had said they were running out of space.
Yeah,
It's at the 3 public libraries.
right.
And you could say any private library.
Just strike the word 5.
I just wanted to be accurate.
Yeah, no,
And-
that's a good idea. Point.
Yes,
Where
and in
is
the
that?
town's libraries.
Where is that?
Oh, okay,
Uh,
okay,
Next paragraph, last line.
ES2, first paragraph, last line.
okay.
All right,
Okay, town's
In
libraries.
the town's libraries.
and that is an appendices to this report. Okay?
Yeah, just go further with 5.
Anything else on page 2?
May I just say something
Absolutely.
briefly? I would like to thank Virginia for making this clear,
Thank you.
for getting it clear.
Concise and short.
Concise and short,
Yes, all
I
right,
think the whole thing is very good.
yes.
I mean, I only
Yeah.
have trivial questions.
thank you. Well, it's a joint effort.
Page 3.
Go back. I'm having memory loss quicker. We now have a TMDL for Coit Bay.
No, we don't.
I mean, we don't?
No, we don't, no.
We have an
Wait.
MVP report.
We have a report, but we don't have,
No, but this TMDL published like years ago.
No.
No, we gotta meet that.
Okay,
Okay,
what-
now you all say.
What the text says here is the TMDL load limits have been set for each estuary except for Wacoit Bay, which is expected in 2014. So
You're
Wacoit
right.
Bay does not have a final TMDL.
You're correct. It's a MEPA report, not a TMDL.
Great.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay,
And that is gonna be.
page 3.
This is correct, as written.
Yes, it is.
I have one.
Steve.
I guess, looking at this now, I guess you can't change that quote because it's a quote, but I just wanted to point out that the term vibrant economy is not only trite, but if you switch to ES 4.1, you'll see the end of the first paragraph says to already strained annual budgets. So, except we can't change it because it's a quote, right?
right. It
You
is
might
what,
not want to come, and probably no one else will notice that.
From our appointing authority.
Right,
2 reasons why you can't change it.
Where are we now?
Hey, we're
Quote from the
not,
selectmen.
let's move on.
forget it.
Can't be changed.
Okay, anything else on page 3?
Yes,
We took exception
I
to
have-
that
I have-
phrase in here.
Oh, okay.
It refers to the
I have a
whole
few
town, not
things.
just finance.
Ron?
Yes.
at the top of the page,
Page 3?
yeah,
Page
top of
3.
page 3, we're talking about this figure ES2, which talks about, the focus in that figure is on the removal of septic effluent
Yes.
nitrogen only.
Yes.
ES 2.
Right, ES2, the figure. Whereas we're looking at it, and Brian House's intent was that we'd be looking at not just that. In other words, it's more to the effect of not 100% of the septic load, but let's say for Little Pond, it's 60% of the total nitrogen load. And that 60% of the total nitrogen load could be 100% from the septic, or, oh, it's actually more than that, but it could be 100% from the septic, or it could be surface water runoff reductions, which would cut into that. So this figure we've talked about many times, because it has this 100% in it, which looks like 100% of the nitrogen has to be removed, but it isn't that.
Okay.
So that's, and you know, Brian Howe said that was never my intent. My intent was to reach the TMDL or whatever it is of the thing. So I'm not sure, because that figure is a big deal. I mean, it's a complicated thing to change.
You could say it's accurate if you say 100% of the wastewater load is removed.
Or equivalent.
Or equivalent.
Or
I mean,
equivalent.
it could be, you know,
Yeah, that would be fine.
Because it gets complicated if you.
Yeah, no, I don't want you, yeah, that's what I mean. This has been in existence for years now, this figure.
Could you just take out the reference to figure ES2 and just say we're going to meet the threshold concentrations?
No,
I think it needs some wordsmithing.
Well, just hang on a minute.
You know.
We are explaining past studies, and we're sort of explaining how we got to where we are.
Right.
Okay, and so when you go back to page 2, these TMDLs and related MEP technical reports document the following problems in the salt ponds in the planning area, blum, blum, blum. These reports and the TMDLs identified threshold nitrogen concentrations for these salt ponds and calculated the amount of wastewater nitrogen at build-out that would need to be removed to meet the threshold concentrations as illustrated in ES2. That is a true statement.
Yeah.
It is at build out, it is wastewater, and it's to meet the threshold concentration. So we in here know that there are other ways to work at getting at nitrogen, but that is a true statement.
I'm not arguing with that. I'm just saying that wasn't the. If you read, that's an excerpt from the report, basically, from the MEP report. MEP report,
too.
that's right.
So that reflects what was said in the TMDL.
Right.
This further refines it as we get into it later.
Right. Okay, there's further context in that report, and further content that explains that, you know, inlet widening or whatever it is that can do things. So I just want to be sure that people are understand that this table isn't committing us to dealing with all 100% of the nitrogen, not just in Little Pond, but.
I think it's clear it's just referencing what an earlier study said.
Okay, well, all right. Well, I'm just trying to make it.
I was also bothered by that. Because it gave
But Eric's point is, I know that folks want to change things and make points, but this paragraph says there's previous reports. Previous reports state this fact, and the fact stated in the previous report about the amount of wastewater nitrogen that would have to be removed to reach this point is in figure ES2. So this sentence is, do we agree this sentence is accurate?
From a historical point of view, not a perspective necessarily.
Right. It's not a policy statement, it's an observation of previous reports.
It's a statement of fact from previous reports.
And then when you get to the last paragraph of this section, you then move forward.
It's a statement of fact that it is in a previous report, it's not a statement.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
I agree.
Very good.
I agree.
Okay. And the last paragraph then takes you from the past forward. In carrying out this vision, it's the intent of the selectmen, thus blah, blah, blah. Fully explore the usefulness of non-traditional alternatives, apply the knowledge through adaptive management, work cooperatively with neighboring towns, regional planning agency where watersheds are shared, and minimize the financial impact on the public. So that's what carries you. And so now we move into, okay, what are we going to do? And this is the summary of the recommended plan.
Okay. I don't know if anybody has. I do have a few more things.
Go ahead.
Okay. One is, well, I'll let that can go. I mean, will be a large expense to the town and its residents. What does large mean? But okay, it's going to be something. Okay. You know, but the other thing is that here it says, you know, at the end of that same paragraph you were just citing, Virginia, it talks about, you know, new debt can be issued to replace retiring debt. Now, when I spoke with the folks, somebody at DEP, I forgot who it was now, he said, you know, that's a nice idea for Falmouth, but we want to see things happen faster than the retiring debt.
We have news for your anonymous person at DEP, which is this is Falmouth's plan.
Okay.
He wants to pay for the other stuff. If it goes faster, then
No,
we'll be
that's
interested
okay.
in his
That's okay.
opinion.
I'm just saying that.
They've always said that.
But I know. But this is a January 13th memo from EPA this year. It says towns should move in a cost-effective and socially responsible manner. And now, if that's penetrated DEP, then that's great since January. Because I don't know when I spoke with that guy, but this is
This funding cycle proposal was in the original document that was approved back in November, so I don't think it will be a surprise to them that we're still saying it.
As long as, you know, suddenly they push back and say, whatever, okay, all right. Well, they might, but I'm
They
just
can
saying.
push back.
Okay.
They can push back. We
okay.
have the voters.
Well, I mean, but there is this, this is a
That's
bit of a game changer.
That's very helpful when the pushback comes.
Right.
Yes,
right, okay.
exactly.
Okay, I just wanted to raise that. Then, the next paragraph, we've forgotten about Bourne and shared watersheds in this document.
And I suppose the only reason is Bourne hasn't taken step one to do anything about our shared watershed with them.
Right,
I don't
but,
want to shove them under the bus.
Right.
no, I'm not, I'm just
You're right. I had that same question.
I'm wondering about, because we're talking about the targeted areas within the town, and then we talk about the shared, but you know,
Okay, we can easily put neighboring towns of Sandwich, Mashpee, and Bourne
For Bourne, yeah.
that share these
there is
watersheds.
the one.
Share
Yeah.
some of these watersheds.
Okay, there we go.
We share one with Bourne.
And we
But
share
there
one
are a
with
bunch that
Sandwich.
we don't share with anybody.
That's
So
right.
why I
All the
want
others.
some
Yeah.
of it.
Okay.
Do we share any watershed in this plan with Bourne?
No,
Nope.
No,
Then we don't
No.
need to mention them.
That's
Right.
true.
well,
That's true. In this plan, you're absolutely right.
within the scope of this plan, it's not.
yeah, you're right.
Okay, you got
Okay.
it.
That would be a
But
separate,
still
just
need-
just
still
like
needs to
Oyster
be
Point's gonna
some
be a
of it.
separate comprehensive wastewater management plan for targeted watershed.
That share some of these watersheds, okay.
Fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
whatever, I'm just,
Can't-
thought we
Yeah.
we ought to put some pressure, just let them know that we're expecting something from there. Then my last point is that the last paragraph, it's great to see this. I don't know if it was in the last version, but it explains clearly about what will be achieved by dealing with the lower watershed, and that other things would have to do. And I think, I don't know if that was in the last version or
Which
not,
pa-
but this is.
Which page are we on?
No.
Right,
Oh,
the
that's
very
okay,
last
yeah,
paragraph
okay.
on
No,
page
this
fine.
is,
3.
this is,
You're right. Those numbers were not in there, and it is very helpful to clarify.
it is, no, it is, and it shows clearly that, you know, the fraction
Yep.
that is
Yes.
in excess, would be in excess. So it's very, very good to have it. I
Yes.
felt
Okay.
very nice
Yes,
to
well,
see
good.
that
So
there.
that's
Great.
not a change. You like that? Okay.
Yeah,
Any-
no, it's
any
just
other
another-
Okay,
changes being offered?
high five.
Okay, I just have one.
For me, anyway. I don't
Okay.
know about
We
Very-
talk about the second line of GS31.
Yeah,
It talks about utilizing
Utilize-
2 new wastewater lift stations. I think we're talking about rebuilt or upgraded or something, but they aren't new lift stations, am I right? They're at the same locations in the same,
No, there would be 2 new ones, and they're illustrated on
The one at
figure
the school.
ES-3.
Oh,
School and the mall.
I take it back. You
School
are
and the
right.
mall.
We originally had 3, now we have
Yep.
2.
Now we have
Yeah.
2.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, just on that point, though, I got a question that someone thought that there was going to be a wastewater treatment plant at the school by reading this. Okay, I mean, that was just the way it,
We have
well,
an
a senior
ongoing,
person in our town, I mean, a senior,
Having a senior moment.
we have an ongoing obligation to educate the public.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
right,
I'm
right.
glad they asked the question.
no, but this is something that,
Yeah.
if it's clear, to me it's clear, and to all of us it is, but whether it should be, a lift station is not a treatment plant, so it's.
Right.
it's there, yeah.
The school
Yeah,
committee
so-
was
so,
appraised
okay.
of this and
Yeah.
unanimously voted
All
to
right.
support it. If it was a treatment plant, I think they would have voted differently.
Mike, might I, to the chair, just make a sort of a suggestion that instead of the phrase "after low-pressure sewers and would utilize 2 new," can we eliminate "would utilize" and just say "includes" and includes 2 new wastewater
Yep.
stations?
Yep, that sounds good.
And the rest of that
You don't
sentence
think
makes
that
it
they're
very
existing?
clear that they're on the way to the Blacksmith Shop Road
Right.
treatment
That's what I'm saying.
facility.
So I
I
think
think
we need to-
instead of using the word lift, maybe it should say pumping.
But read the rest of the
Yeah,
sentence.
okay, all right,
Yeah.
okay, all right, fine, I'm not gonna read it.
Anything else on 3?
I have something that goes 3, 4, 5, and 6, and a general statement about 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Go.
I think it would be useful, and I just put this forward, to use the same numbering, to use the same order in which we put things as we did on the first page. And it's not that way. But I do have something to say about the development of adaptive management plan. I think that should be
Is that coming
that should
up
be
here?
placed in a different place.
Well, let me...
And I think it works. Actually.
The text tracks this table, and we made, CNI actually worked on this, we made the front page track it as much as we could. What's the real driver is the numbering system itself, not the introduction. So I don't think it has to be an exact mirror.
Let's change the introduction to, well, I don't know.
Well, we did play around with that. So I'm just saying your thought was visited. Okay.
The
What
other-
what else do you have?
The only other thing would be
Is-
to change that.
This is a major piece of work, and
Work in progress.
Yeah.
right. But we think that it's in a framework now that really flows, that's logical, and I would be resistant.
Part of
to
the
changing
problem with rearranging things at this point is all these entities that got the first version, when we give them the second version, they're going to go look at the first version and the second version and see what changed. If you've rearranged it on them, they will be hopelessly confused.
So my logic is just, being logical is not the thing we want to be.
Logic
is
is not-
what you're
We're
telling
way
me.
past the time for logic.
Well, I can live with that, but I don't like it.
Okay.
Okay.
4
But
on 3?
3.2,
3.2.
quite honestly, the upgrade of the wastewater treatment plant is not part of the CWMP. I think when you put it in there, it opens up the ability for the state to question and do other things. That is entirely under the responsibility of the permit. I think you're opening up, and I'm not sure if my boss would agree to or others because of the potential.
Well, was it in the last version?
Yes.
It was, yeah.
That's why it's here.
If it was in,
Yep. It was in the
Nate?
draft.
What do you think? Are we putting ourselves into a hole here?
No, I guess I would, to engage Jerry in that discussion. One reason why you try to put things into the CWMP is it makes them eligible for 2% loan or 0% loan.
So it'll
If
happen
you keep it
soon.
outside,
Soonish.
then it
If we ever get
makes
to
it
that
a little bit harder to go after those loans because you often only are eligible for the things that are in the plan.
I would offer that, just like before, I said, look, time for logic is long past.
yeah, no, if
It's
it
been in
was
the plan for a while. It's been in the plan for a while.
If it's been in the plan for a while,
All right.
it stays.
Okay, anything
It
else
seemed like
on
it was plugged in
page
there before.
Yeah, under the shellfish, it doesn't mention the fact that you've already completed a pilot project in 2012.
Well,
Don't you wanna
hardly,
get credit for that?
hardly.
Whatever you want to call it. You did something last summer.
That's true. I thought I'd seen it somewhere.
Highlighted.
I mean, I don't care, but I would think
Right.
you'd want to get credit for it. We did it.
Right, the viability test.
Does that fall under the?
I have
Yeah.
a point on all of this, though. To me, a lot of these points
Yes,
are,
5.6.
it reads like a progress report and not a recommended plan.
It is a progress report.
We want to get credit for all the work we've done.
Well, there's another section in the back that, some of it's repeated.
And that has to be the structure. It's because they ask us to do the financing plan, what's your whole plan, and then they want to ask us, what's your implementation plan?
Right.
And so, obviously, the two are connected, but it's similar topics. So that's why, to some degree, you find a reiteration of information. And I believe the viability is mentioned in ES 5.6. That's my guess.
But again, a lot of people will just read the executive summary. And a lot of reasonable people, when they see that you've actually done something and you're not just paper pushers, you get a lot of points for that.
Right.
So,
It is true that these are synopses. The ES 3.2 is a brief synopsis of more expanded information under the ES 5, which is the project completion and implementation timing. That is true.
It's true,
And that's intended to be that way, that you give people a little bit of a snapshot at the beginning, and then when you're talking about the implementation and timing, you give them more details. I mean, that's how it was written.
Okay, I'm just saying that.
well, it could be even included in one of the existing bullets with an and.
No, like, we'll just add bullets and viability test.
Okay.
Give it, it can get its own bullet, why not?
Could I just, we may have to come back to a lot of this stuff later.
No way.
No.
Well,
I have news.
well,
We're doing this tonight, and we're not coming back.
well, then I think ES 3.1 has to be clarified.
Yeah.
We have to make sure we have a viable new treated water recharge site. If we don't, we're gonna have to come back here.
We are well aware that that is a key
Well-
issue, but it's not an issue for this particular document.
It could be.
Could be.
Well, I'm just saying that if this is approved like this, and we have an issue with the site,
Right.
we may have to
Right.
come back to this committee to discuss it.
True enough.
That, you know, without
True-
getting in all the
True
what
enough,
ifs.
true enough.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else on page 4? I have
page-
one on ES 3.4, which is the last sentence, has been somewhat superseded by events.
Okay, that's corrected.
I think what it probably would want to say now is the town's legislative delegation has filed corrective legislation that will enable the Attorney General's office to approve the town's nitrogen control bylaw.
Okay. All right.
Well, are we back to nitrogen control bylaw where it says earlier the
Oh, that's right.
fertilizer
Yeah,
control
let's change the name
bylaw?
of the nitrogen control bylaw.
We have several names.
Whatever we're calling it, let's call it the same thing.
This says fertilizer management bylaw on page
It's got to be
2.
fertilizer, because everything
Well,
is
but the
nitrogen.
first line says nitrogen control bylaw, so,
It's called we called it a nitrogen control
Control bylaw.
bylaw.
So we'll change it on top
Call
of
it
2.
that someplace and put in parentheses fertilizer bylaw.
Fine.
And then everything else.
And do it in the
use
same way.
fertilizer.
Okay,
Whatever.
but on top of page 2, the
would-
second
yeah,
line
that would work.
needs to be changed then. Okay.
So we're not going back to page 2, are we?
top of
Um,
page 2. Yes.
Yeah,
I would call it
Nitrogen replace, what a great
I would
function.
call it a nitrogen control bylaw for fertilizer.
Fine,
Excellent.
That's what I would call it.
fine,
Okay.
Okay.
fine. All right, whatever,
Yeah.
good.
Fine.
Then if we get the parentheses,
fine.
okay.
So we can do that every time it shows
I
up.
would do that every time.
Fine, good. Okay, anything else on page 4?
Yes, I have a
Yes.
couple, yeah. First, the first paragraph, it says here, it says at the end, some improvements, this is for the wastewater treatment facility, some improvements are needed to address current and projected operational problems. We have projected operational problems.
What-
Yeah,
ES 3.2.
yeah.
ES 3.2, it says, some improvements are needed to address current and projected operational problems.
Well, let's just say current operational problems. Right, I agree.
Compliance issues.
Or whatever, but I mean, I don't want to say like,
Wait.
this thing is a train wreck. You know?
But you beat me into submission.
Okay, no, all right, okay. And then at the bottom,
These aren't necessarily problems either, they're upgrades.
The upgrades, and yeah.
you
To
know.
make greater efficiency, or
Yes.
better at measuring, or better
Correct.
denitrifying?
Better performance.
Better
You could,
performance.
instead of, if you want to do that, you could say you're needed to improve current and future operations.
Yeah, that's,
Because you can improve something from okay to really good,
That's
or
what
from
we have.
broken to okay.
no, we're.
Well, I kind of like that, to
improving.
improve current and future operations.
I like that.
Fine, much better, good.
okay, just, okay. Then the last thing, for me anyway, is that the third bullet under ES 3.5.1, I would say by end of June 2013, at the end of the third bullet.
Right, this
Okay,
is
that-
due June 30th. The idea is that this is gonna be finished, this document is a June 30th deadline.
Right.
And that's why I didn't put by June 30th, because I knew it would happen by June 30th.
It says by June 15th.
How about-
Right, so, yeah,
It won't be the
June
15th.
2013.
Ah,
Yeah, we have
right.
a late birth.
This is really nitpicking, but do you install oysters or do you introduce them?
Install, really?
Yeah,
Kind of like pouring concrete for replacement.
All right.
That sounds funny.
oysters need water, water need oysters. It's an installation, I mean, it's a technical term.
All right,
You're-
It's not
okay.
very friendly.
No.
Would you like to put something?
Are we done with page 4? Page 5, okay. We want to delete Little Pond, like we talked about earlier, I think.
right.
And anything else on page 5?
Just one thing. It says under 3.5.4, it says, and maybe I'm picky on this, that converts the soluble nitrogen to nitrogen gas. Well, ammonia is soluble nitrogen, and it doesn't go to nitrogen gas, so it could be, converts nitrate nitrogen.
All you have to do is remove the word "the."
The?
Converts soluble nitrogen.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but
Then you're covered.
ammonia
Ammonia
is
is
soluble.
soluble too,
Right,
Yeah,
but it doesn't.
But I
Right.
didn't say all, you just
Yeah.
take out "the," which implies all.
right.
It
And then-
does, ammonia gets converted to nitrogen gas, it's a process.
It just goes through nitrate.
It
and then
just
it-
goes, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it.
Does taking out the fix the problem?
Okay, all right.
Yes. Good.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
Whether-
ammonia,
whether
if the
the-
pH goes up, it'll
Whether the
volatilize,
nitrogen is
so-
nitrate or ammonia, it is soluble nitrogen at that point.
Yeah.
All right,
And it does get converted to nitrogen
Yeah.
gas.
But that's,
okay, anything else on page 5?
No.
Let's go, page 6.
um,
Anything else on page 7?
One
Page
small
6.
comment
6, okay,
on
back to 6.
ES 356. This is also nitpicking. The last sentence in ES3, they would be added to the plan through notices of product change, because there will be more than one notice of product change.
Through a notice of product, right.
Each one would be,
Yeah. Each would be added to the plan.
Okay,
Each. There you
each.
go.
There we go.
each.
okay, I have something.
Right.
The second to last paragraph, and this goes back to the separation, church and state, between the demonstration projects and the others. Between, we have here, but it says here, okay, within the CW, including sewer extension to Little Pond. This is, estimated cost and finance shown in the table illustrates the financial opportunity. Projects within the CWMP include the sewers, permeable reactive barriers, eco toilets, stormwater remediation, and other alternative capital investments and nutrient removal will be sequenced. So we're leaving out denitrifying systems and shellfish, but I guess is that an other alternative capital investment?
If
There's a-
you want shellfish mentioned, I don't
Sure.
have any problem making it total listing, because I think it's an important
It is.
factor.
And the denitrifying thing could be put in too.
Sure.
And then it's,
All right.
okay,
Sure.
that's about all, okay.
Good.
Thanks. Yeah.
Okay, page 6. Page 7.
7.
Oh, wait, yeah.
I had a problem with the last line in the second paragraph.
Okay,
Falmouth will be able to fund various projects needed to meet the TMDLs. I don't think so.
Where's this?
That last,
The last,
the last line of the second paragraph.
I have a problem with that too.
Yeah, I
I
don't-
really,
all right.
want to look into that. I don't,
I don't think it's true.
Well,
We hope to.
by the year 3000.
To meet all the, to meet all the TMDLs.
Yeah, you're right, we can't meet all the,
But the ones in this particular,
Even these,
You-
there's
you
no
want-
promise that these projects alone will meet them all.
You want
the
something
DEP
like
management
gives the best hope of, or something like that?
well,
Is our only prayer, or?
remember the strategy is
It's the only arrow in our quiver.
we're promising the state
Yeah.
that through this initial project and adaptive management, wherever that takes us, we intend, maybe that's the better word, to satisfy the TMDLs,
okay, so,
or something along
Yeah.
those words.
That's fine, that's good.
so rather than Falmouth will be able, you're saying Falmouth intends to fund the various projects needed?
If the time is,
I'm gonna try.
no,
Might I try?
Yeah.
Yes,
If I-
Steve, come to our
This-
rescue.
This whole sentence, starting at the beginning, get rid of the word if, and then say, the timing of issuing new debt to replace old debt and the receipt of an SRF loan are successful, and add the words, are key to Falmouth's capacity to fund the various projects needed to meet the TMDLs.
Excellent.
okay, great.
no, wait, read that again, because it doesn't.
You
it
get rid
isn't-
of the word if,
Yeah.
if. And you
I'm gonna read from
change
the
are
beginning of the sentence.
successful.
The sentence should read, the timing of issuing new debt to replace old debt and the receipt of an SRF loan
Are key.
Are key.
key to Falmouth's capacity to fund the various projects needed to meet the TMDLs.
Good.
Good.
Yes, that's, okay.
Okay.
And at the end of this, I'm gonna apply for a job as an editor at the New Yorker.
Do they need 7?
Don't go to the New Yorker.
You
You
can
have
work with Mr. Latimer too. Excellent.
All right.
You-
Page 7, anything else on
Yes.
page 7?
Well,
Yes,
I'm
Steve?
waiting for
Oh,
Virginia to finish
Okay.
writing.
Got it,
okay.
This is fun.
Item 5, down near the bottom,
yes.
Yep.
there's a typo, isn't there?
Item 5,
What's an FCWP?
Final comprehensive wastewater management.
There's no M there.
On OM.
Oh, there's an M missing here, okay.
Where's this, item
I
5?
think the way that total acronym was described was just a CWMP
Ah.
FEIR.
there we go, yes.
Okay.
CWMP. Oh, I see, okay.
I guess
Right.
I've
Can I
tried.
buy a vowel?
Right, buy it now.
TWMP.
Okay, so if I can,
I have one thing about this language. To me, there's some confusion in that it says in, where, I don't know, it's a 1, 2, 5th paragraph down, item 2 has already been accomplished, okay, where it says that. Then it says the secretary, I guess we
Issued.
should say who, issued his certificate, or the certificate, but on November 14th. Then down here it says, the will unfold over the next 12 months, completion of this document, submittal of issuance of the secretary's certificate, again.
Yeah,
So,
it is, it's a second, it's another certificate,
Put the word final.
file
okay,
certificate.
well, I don't know, but it just, to me, it sounds like it's been done, and then we're
No,
asking, yeah,
each
okay.
time you make
Yeah,
a submittal,
right,
there's a
you get
review and a
response.
certificate.
Okay,
Okay, so issuance of the secretary's,
Or you could say of a secretary's certificate, if there's more than
well,
one.
it's usually called the secretary.
the secretary's,
Or the second.
Well, then it's issuance of the secretary's certificate for the final.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
okay, just so, I just,
For the
wasn't,
I have a correction.
Then I have some relatively, well, maybe this is major, maybe it's not. It's something to deal with. But at the bottom of that paragraph, same paragraph where we just put in for the final document.
Yep, Item
At the
5.
bottom it says, Falmouth will file a state revolving fund project evaluation form by August 31st.
yes, that's right, that's a good one.
Okay. But then we're talking about later on, it says
2013.
later there are a lot of actions that have to be taken after that.
Yep. This is the project evaluation form. This simply gets us on the state list. Hey, we're out there, we're moving forward on a project, and we have design money
Okay,
approved.
so
I
that's,
think we may want to say we're applying for state revolving fund. We don't get 0 or 2% till further down line until we have a lot of other things.
You're saying in the PEF, there's
asking
no
them to-
box to check off that says you're interested in a 0 or 2?
Well, 0 and 2 is all they have. It's one or the other.
Well,
It's nitpicky.
We might have to check that.
you are right that really the application for the 0 component of the loan comes at a later time.
Okay.
So Barry is correct for that. You could just pretty much.
Just take out that last piece.
The last,
How about just, I mean,
Well, but that's still what you're
seeking
seeking.
a loan.
We're seeking a loan.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. And we just
Seeking
won't
a loan.
specify at this point. Okay,
okay.
Well, how about just low interest loan?
there we go. Yes. Yes, we need that.
Okay.
All right.
I have one correction in item 4, the very last line. The voters passed the ballot and it says issue. It should be the ballot question.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I have one typo.
Oh.
On the last line of the first paragraph of ES 4.2, have proven capable of reducing nitrogen loads. There's no period there. Take just a, just a.
There's a few of those.
Yeah, I didn't. That's the only one I saw.
Okay, anything else on page 7?
Halfway there.
You're gonna have a hard time making a story out of this.
We polished a very important document.
With a robust discussion.
Right.
Period.
You leave now.
A robust debate about the placement of commas ensued.
We're gonna need an editor though.
All right.
Yo, let the,
Steve, go ahead.
in your spare time, Steve.
There you go. I'll do it tonight about 1 to 2.
All right, page 8.
How does it feel to be embedded?
Very good. That's right, real time.
Are you being punished this week? Okay, page 8, let's go. What do we got? Ron.
Actually, oh.
Brent
I'll take, yeah,
called me
right,
up the other day
right.
about
See,
something
that's
else.
where I
And he
asked
said, how
about-
interesting would this meeting be? And I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, it would be about a 6. So he said, well, that's worth sending somebody.
You lied.
Good.
Okay, at the end of the second paragraph, there's some things in here that I think need to be changed. The last article will ask for authorization to file special legislation so that the betterment can be paid over 30 years, as is done with water betterments rather than current 20 years.
Can I jump in and say, I have a clarification there. It's so that the homeowner's portion of the
Yes.
betterment can be paid over 30 years.
Right.
And I think I know where Ron's going. Maybe we could say a longer period rather than saying 30 years.
No, that's okay, but this chapter 44, section 7 of the general laws may not be exactly the right thing, but it says that for the construction or reconstruction of surface drain sewers, sewer systems, and sewage treatment and disposal facilities, 30 years is the useful life lending period that's allowed. So I don't know if we need to go for special legislation unless a betterment, but the state law was changed from 20 years, I'm not sure when that happened, to 30 years because they found that the economic useful life of the systems was longer than 20. So now the law is 30.
But it's not the useful life. You know, I think this is important.
Economic.
The useful life is longer than 30. The state has told us that. The loan program and other requirements are 30 years.
Okay, whatever.
I see.
Well, I don't want to go into
Yeah, we're not
the
having that
explanation on
discussion
that.
tonight. We're trying
But
to
all I'm
fix
trying to
some
figure
text.
here is that we may not need to do that.
Okay, I didn't put all the nitty-gritty in here. The special legislation, actually, there's several tools that the
Yeah.
town can use, if we choose to adopt it, to help reduce the impact of the betterment to the homeowners. One of them is to make the payment over a longer period of time, and the review committee discussed as much as 50 years. So that's one.
Right, no, I know.
The second is
That was
that
voted down.
you can set the interest rate at a certain level instead of a fluctuating level. And the third has to do with the value of the property. that the betterment would be based on the value of your property rather than frontage. So there are a variety of reasons why we may file special legislation, and we need to do the research and develop that reasoning this summer.
Okay, all that is true, and we're not going to get into the nitty-gritty of it today, and we probably should take out some of the nitty-gritty of it if we haven't decided what we're actually going to do.
Right.
Okay, so we just filed special legislation so that the betterment, the homeowner's portion of the betterment can be reduced.
Right.
Can I offer that so that the betterments can be more accurately tailored to the specific needs of the Falmouth plan? Now, that leaves it very broad.
Well, that is broad.
But again, when the legislation gets
You do
filed,
belong at the New York.
Yeah, it's the word tailored.
This is not a grave concern for them up there. It's a grave concern for our
us.
town meeting this fall. And,
Yes.
and we don't need to be real specific in our message to them in June about what we're going to do in
Yeah,
November.
but whenever you have
Right.
opportunities to say you're gonna try to save taxpayers' money.
Right.
then you
Yeah.
should put it in.
Right.
So what's the final wording?
Yeah, that is the final wording.
Your first one was pretty good.
oh, so I just said it, to ask for special legislation so that the betterment can be tailored to meet the specific needs of the Falmouth plan and reduce the,
Reduce the
I just-
cost,
I just-
reduce the cost to the property owner?
reduce the cost of the property owner, yeah.
Well, the last sentence says this legislation would lower the yearly payments of
Yes,
the
I usually
homeowner.
that.
Okay, so, okay,
The
so,
only point I'm trying to make here is we're gonna file special legislation to get the betterments to line up with what we wanna do.
Yes.
right. Okay, so we're taking out reference to over 30 years, da-da-da-da, rather than current, so no.
30 years is already given.
The specific needs of the Falmouth plan, period.
Okay,
There you go. Second line, second paragraph. I'd like to strike many public meetings during the summer. I don't mind having public meetings. I don't want to commit to many.
many. All right, wait, show me that.
And-
Subject to
and-
public meetings,
And
all
let's
right.
say during the summer and fall of 2013.
Summer and fall.
Where is,
Second line, second
Okay,
paragraph.
yeah, got it.
Second paragraph.
second line, second paragraph, okay.
Okay, and on the paragraph that starts item 11, the window could be as large as $90 million. I don't think we need to put that in.
Okay,
Yeah.
And the next sentence.
so you're taking that whole sentence out?
I'm saying the window may be used for a variety of
Issuing
town
new debt to
projects.
replace old debt, okay, and not putting a dollar amount in.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the next sentence, town meeting will be asked to vote the construction dollars.
Mhm.
Asked to. Okay.
Any others?
Item
Page
12.
Page 8?
We have to, section 10 is entirely voluntary by the town. It gives the town special privileges for which they don't have to pass special legislation. You know, there's a half a dozen different things. Section 5, the flow neutral bylaw, we have to satisfy or we don't get the 0%.
So you're saying the reference should be section 5 rather than
Well, I
section
mean,
10?
I think there's some benefit to it. It should be section 5, unless you want to highlight that we're gonna go ahead and try to approve section 10.
Can you adopt just a section of chapter 312?
I've been told no.
I think the answer is no, so why are we talking about it?
Oh, we adopt the whole act, is that what you're saying?
I think that's what you have that choice, adopt the whole thing or none of it.
All of section 10, all of
Right.
it, none of it. But it's not contingent on getting an SRF loan.
Right.
Section 5 is, which is a bylaw.
Ah, so, okay.
Okay, so is there any language change needed here?
You could say section 5.
We're changing 10 to 5?
5 and 10,
You don't,
We don't need 10.
10 is not mandatory, it's useful.
I say.
And
How
I,
about parts of chapter 312?
there's only one part. section.
But I just heard Eric say, we either adopt the entire,
Well, no, I think I'm wrong about this. I think
Okay.
we adopt section 10, which is
In its entirety.
in its entirety,
Or
right?
section 5?
We don't, we need to do, section 5 will be the bylaw by itself.
right.
Section 10
Right.
gives the town
Okay,
certain
right.
legislative approval for which
Right.
we don't have
okay.
to seek
So
special
th-
legislation.
So this language as written is right.
It's wrong. You don't need section 10 to get a 0%
Oh.
SRF.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You need it for something else, if you want to take it.
Yeah, I mean, some of the, checkerboarding and things like that, that's what you need it for.
Maybe the correct case here is that this actually is referring to, if we do this, maybe I've got it wrong, just Jerry, and then correct me if I mess this up, but section 10 is all required if you're gonna go to the 0% loan, right?
No,
No, just the flow neutral for the 0%.
yes. Section 5 facilitates implementation such as checkerboard. If we pass section 10, we don't have to go for special legislation for checkerboard. It's already allowed. If we don't, or we only want to adopt certain parts of section 10,
What
we
if,
have to go to
what if
special
you just say that
legislation.
the town must pass the flow neutral bylaw to receive a favorable SRF loan? This vote will be on the April 2014 warrant.
I think you want.
Well,
And if somebody really cares which section,
well, it is referenced in this table, and since this is describing table ES1, that's why I originally got this information from Jerry, so.
No, not the section 10. All right.
All right, let's figure it out.
Some things are
Yeah.
embedded in my mind.
Well, now-
As you know.
If I
I mean,
understand,
I'll send you the legislation. It's clear.
Okay, well, we have to decide something right now about this paragraph.
Right.
What do you want to do?
if I understand what Jerry is saying, we would say section 5, in order to receive the 0% SRF loan. If we wanted to say anything about section 10, we would say something else.
It sounds like, I mean, if we do want checkerboarding, we would want section
Yeah.
10.
Well, also, you say the vote is in April, but on your time flow sheet, it's fall.
Well, I'm hearing tonight for the first time that adopting section 10 will solve the checkerboarding problem. So it's new information for me. But the second is that I still think, I mean, I have no objections to putting this into the fall town meeting, but fall town meeting will make it clear whether the town wants to proceed with checkerboarding, in which case, obviously, we'd adopt this.
We can't put this in the fall town meeting because this is not approvable until after the CWMP is approved.
Right, but the checkerboarding is in the schedule for this fall town meeting.
Well,
It's-
we can
it's a
still put that
separate
in as
Yeah.
a separate bylaw.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So you
Yeah.
need two separate sentences, one about section 5 and one about section 10.
Or you can simplify a little bit, if you can. The line above this says, item 11 focuses on the next window of opportunity. Perhaps we should say under item 12, focuses on the town's need
Okay.
to obtain, to pass a flow neutral bylaw, as well as its desire to accept chapter 312 Acts of 208, section 10,
That's good.
as
Just leave it
as
there.
part of our plan to obtain the most favorable SRF loan. It's part of our plan to receive the most favorable SRF loan.
That's fine. Few people but me and Paul and some other technocrats
good.
will understand the difference.
Okay, we like that? Everybody like that?
All right, who wrote it down?
I did.
See it.
All right.
Good, see
What
it.
did we write down? Something?
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Anything else on page 8?
Yeah, I just have one question. On item 10, it says no more than 30 million is issued to any community in any given year. Falmouth will be asking for funding for a multi-year project. Is that within the 30 or is that 30 plus or how is it?
Take
that-
out the 30. It's really immaterial. Nate, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to ask Nate.
Yeah, I think it's immaterial.
It gets into all sorts of debates.
It identifies a dollar amount that.
Right, it's an observable fact, but it doesn't really matter.
Okay,
There's-
so Nate, what would you suggest? Delete the last two
Just-
sentences?
Yeah.
Or we're not going to say
just the second to last sentence.
second to last
No
sentence?
more than 30
Yeah,
million.
that's it.
Falmouth will be asking for funding for a multi-year project.
Yes. leave
Okay,
that in.
leave that in.
And the other sentence comes
Yeah,
out.
okay.
Oh,
'cause-
okay.
Okay, I
Fair
won't
enough.
tell you why I
Anything else?
asked.
Page 8?
Let's see. Okay, yes, I had a question about construction seasons. Is that just winter? Or what is, that's under item 16. What do we envision as being the construction seasons?
Not between Memorial Day and Labor Day.
Yeah, I mean,
Well-
I'm sure the selectmen
Okay.
will tell us what they can. But I think
No, I
you're
just-
right. It may be even a little bit after Labor Day. I don't know. That's a policy decision.
Okay, but
Yeah, if you're on side streets, we might be operating during the summer. It's just too,
Yeah, we don't know. I
We
guess
don't
is the
know.
answer.
it says yes, an estimated two construction seasons. So I just,
Right, in other
It's
words,
kinda
we
there.
aren't gonna get it all done in 2015. There will be some
Right, right.
construction in
So we could-
2016.
You could say 2 years. Forget about the definition of construction seasons.
Yeah.
over 2
Why
years.
don't you
Okay,
leave in
over 2 years.
construction season, because by definition it'll be done during the construction season, since
Right.
it's construction, it'll be some season.
Fine.
And if somebody's worried, they can go look up what
Sorry, I
that is.
brought it up.
That's just 2 years.
You're right.
Simple.
2 years.
2 years, okay, I just,
That's right.
okay, all right,
Okay.
page 9, right, any more on 8?
Anything else on the very bottom line on 8, Brian Dudley
Yes.
once expressed some concern that we were giving ourselves an awful big gap to start thinking about the next phase.
Yeah. Several people said that, yeah.
Right,
And that, so,
right.
so you,
Couldn't comment on it.
well, they did.
No, they did.
You might
Yeah.
welcome a gap.
But we'd welcome a
no,
gap, but I don't think they want to give us a 5-year vacation to before we start thinking about the next batch of things.
But we did it because we knew there was no money in there.
I'm
Well-
happy to leave it alone, but I just, several comments came back saying, you got to think about your next
When we
step.
get to that point, we can consider the fact that we have no money and tell them that we've considered it. What our next step is when we don't have any money.
Right, or if a new funding source rears its head, and then the town has to come up with a small
Economics
matching
change,
stuff,
funding's changing.
then at that point, you decide, do we want a capital exclusion, you know.
Offer judge orders.
Yeah, this
It's
does not
automatic.
prevent other projects from coming onto the plate sooner.
Yeah, okay.
It's just we can't guarantee it at this point.
And we're not guaranteeing.
No, and we're not, that's right.
Couldn't,
Anything else on 8?
could it would be possible that the last sentence on 8 and the first sentence on 9 could somehow or another leave out the period of 5 years and just say that we're going to go forward with construction as funds are available?
This suggests we're going to do no thinking until 2020.
Yeah. And I don't think that's true.
Oh, we'll be doing thinking all the way along.
Well,
Yeah,
planning then,
planning.
And even maybe something, some
or
construction.
proposing.
How about Falmouth will then evaluate the results and not say it has a 5-year period?
Yeah.
Yes.
And go forward as funds
Yeah,
are available.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Okay.
take out the 5-year period.
Well,
Yeah, so then, yeah, good.
Okay,
Okay, page 9.
all right.
There's a typo, that same one, or variation on it, in ES 5.2.
Yeah, it's got DWCMP,
yeah.
whatever. This is the way I type.
Looks like
I might have
it's
done this, actually. Yeah,
Right.
other than that, I have a few things. One is, what is the date of this document? Because at the end of that same 5.2, it says, resulting in the volumes that have been submitted. So is that, what is the date of this, of what we're talking about here? Because that's, I guess it'll appear with this, right? So it's okay.
Right, and I thought volumes that have been submitted sounded awkward, and I just said resulting in this document.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's better. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
In this document, and then the date of this document will be when the selectmen file it.
right.
This is the updated document. The other has been submitted. Some may think it's factual, others may think it's not factual, but that's.
Is it on ES5 too? Is that where we are?
Yes, that's where we are.
And you're saying that in volumes that have been submitted is...
That's taken out, and
Okay.
town responded comments, revise the document accordingly, resulting in this document that
Okay.
you're holding in your
All
hand.
right, okay, yeah.
You get
okay.
too many documents in that sentence.
Okay. This report,
Let's report.
Revise this document accordingly.
comments,
In this final CWMP,
And has revised this document accordingly.
town responded to comments and has revised, say that again,
This document.
and has
No.
revised this document accordingly, period.
All right, good.
There we go. Fewer words,
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
I would like to say that, did we submit a DTWMP? Should we take that out?
That should be,
Yeah, Ron's pointed
Right.
out, we had too many letters.
right.
Oh,
More
but
than once.
DWCMP is wrong. I just thought, I didn't hear the DTMP.
You didn't submit a draft targeted wastewater.
And
management plan, right?
DIR
We
is
didn't.
wrong too then. All the
Just
Ds
just
are
fix
wrong.
those everywhere they appear, because
Yeah.
they keep
Right.
appearing, so.
Okay.
The paragraph before, where it talks about this timetable for some projects is also dependent on feedback from agencies and regulators, I would throw in and response time from agencies and regulators.
We feedback and response time?
Right.
We can just leave out feedback. I mean, response times,
No.
you know it's what they're, oh, it's what they're gonna say as well as when
It's
they say
what
yes,
and
you're right,
when.
You're right.
Can we put the
you're right.
word timely in front of feedback?
Fair enough?
Dependent on timely feedback?
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
That's better.
Okay.
That way we don't pin them down too much, but let
Right.
them know that it is in their court.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a vicious serve over the net, it's just a nice soft lob.
In ES 5.3, the last paragraph flew in and landed there from I don't know where.
Yes.
It doesn't belong there.
It has no business being there.
Which one, where?
Flow neutral bylaw.
ES 5.3,
is
the
not
last
under-
paragraph.
Is
Oh,
not to
last
be
paragraph.
under the fertilizer bylaw.
Right,
Yep.
right, yep,
Oh,
it
how
just
did that
flew
get
in,
there?
yep, it did.
Town is reading it for,
The reason it flew in is because it used to be in under the fertilizer bylaw wasn't the only heading, it was
Oh.
fertilizer, flow neutral, and land use controls. It was a bigger heading. And we shortened the heading, but we didn't know where
So
we
this
were
is-
gonna put this, so
this
we
now-
left it there. That's all.
this will say nitrogen control bylaw for fertilizer?
Yes,
Yes.
everywhere.
Okay.
Right,
Backing up a bit, quite a bit, actually, but going up to 5.3, there's some repetition here from 3.4, but we said that that's necessary, I guess. But one thing is the Department of Agricultural Resources in 3.4, I forgot to mention this, says Department of Agriculture in 3.4, it should be changed to agricultural resources. So if you go back to 3.4, that's just a small
Right, that is
thing.
there.
Yeah.
okay, it should be agricultural resource, oh, Department of Agricultural Resources.
Right. I meant to mention that, I overlooked it, sorry.
Where is that?
Page 4 in the middle.
And then, Eric, you'll need to change the wording, I think, in this last sentence.
Yes, same as we did to the other
Yeah,
one.
okay.
Right, yeah, that's got to change to
Yeah.
recommend the current situation.
So are we taking the last paragraph out entirely, or
Yes,
putting another?
yes, it doesn't
We
belong.
don't need
Nope.
we don't need a separate
Especially,
section
we
for
talked
that.
about it on the last page.
Right, yeah, okay.
An interesting point for the enterprise reporter who might want to do a little chasing around on this fertilizer bylaw story is that the commissioner of the Department of Agricultural Resources is Greg Watson, a Falmouth resident and a longtime citizen known to many people here. And you might call him up and ask him what he thinks about this bylaw of ours.
Good.
Right.
He lives on Shore Street and he's in the phone book.
Local citizens,
And he'll be home this weekend.
Want his phone number?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Are we keeping this may require town meeting adoption, that last sentence,
No,
that's
this,
scratched?
Nope,
It
it
gets-
changed it the way the other one was changed.
right.
Yeah, this is
Okay, anything else on 9? Okay. Anything on 10?
I have just
Yes.
something in the, under 5.5 in the second paragraph, under that, the ballot vote, although we know the subtext, the ballot vote itself, the wording, does not specify any of this in it. Right? So the selectmen, there'll be proposals going to the selectmen who will then vote to.
No, actually, what they will implement is what town meeting voted.
yes.
Exactly what town meeting
Article
voted.
24 and
25.
25.
It's not an optional thing on their part.
Okay, so 24, I don't remember the exact wording in that. Did it have that type of detail of?
4.5 for Lower Pond collection system.
Well, it was in the article. I just don't
Yeah.
recall the.
Yeah.
So much for Bourne's
It
Pond.
was at the explanation part,
Yeah, right,
Funds
which you
were-
told me was
yeah.
part of the
Not
vote.
Yep.
The explanation is part of the vote, so that was included.
The selectmen are obliged
Yeah.
to follow what
Yeah.
that.
What was voted on?
Where is
Okay.
it?
5.5, first line of the second paragraph.
Provided funding for
Good,
contract.
5.5.
Yeah, preliminary design was completed. Where, I don't see the was and were.
5.5,
Yes.
page 10, second paragraph.
Yeah, oh, second paragraph, sorry. Were, yes, you were, okay, got it. Okay,
Just one question, just one point on that then. Going back to 4.2, item 4, we have the list of items. It says 5.6 million total, but it's not broken down. I don't know if that's necessary. On item 4, under section 4.2, on page 7. I don't know if it's necessary, but I just thought I meant to mention that. But you see it has 5.6 million,
Item
but
4,
then
yeah.
it just like, wastewater sewer, Little Pond watershed should say 4.5 million wide new Bourne ponds inlet, 300,000, I don't know.
Is it really needed? I mean, the next
No.
argument's going to be the 44 discussion.
right,
44.
I don't
all
think we need to put the individual dollars in.
All right.
I mean, they're locked with concrete.
They are,
Yeah.
they are,
Okay. We're still on 10?
10.
Well, until they're voted. Okay, 10.
I thought these paragraphs were pretty good. See ya. Okay, I'm not hearing much on 10. How about 11?
I have a question on 11 for Ron Zweig. The first paragraph, last sentence. The second batch of seed will be deployed to an upweller in late June. And then I would like to add, and relayed to Little Pond in, what, September? What time does it get, it gets put in Little Pond, right?
In August.
These
August?
seeds will be grown and
3 or 4 weeks
tested
later.
and relayed to Little Pond in June.
You gotta change that.
Wait, I changed a bunch of things up here. I got confused when I read this, but it will be grown in 2 batches, early and late. Okay, that's
When will the
fine.
second batch go to Little Pond?
Right.
When will the second batch go to Little Pond, Ron? That's
The second batch will go to Little Pond at the end of June.
No,
No.
it's
No.
going into the upweller.
No, not into that, but when will it go to Little Pond?
Yeah,
That's
no.
like, that
Oh, no,
was
wait, the
like-
first batch goes in probably by end of July.
Okay, so how about just saying,
We're getting bigger seed.
So this is what's happening.
so let's just say the second batch of seed will be relayed, will be placed in Little Pond in late July.
At the end of
2013.
July. We have been delayed. We were supposed to get the seed on May 21st. It didn't arrive. It still hasn't arrived. So I'm just saying the timing of it is 3 weeks after it goes in the upweller, or for 3 or 4 weeks it goes in. So the first one is
Yeah.
the May 21st is gonna change, and it's gonna say in late June,
Okay, late June.
or early June. Early June to the upweller. These seeds will be grown, tested, and relayed to Little Pond in late June.
Okay,
The second batch of seed will be deployed to an upweller in late June.
How about just saying the second batch of seeds will be grown, tested, and relayed to Little Pond in July? Just-
Yeah.
Right.
Rather
Forget
than
that they're
going
going
all
to
the
the
steps.
Yeah.
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 Okay,
Yep, grown, tested, and relayed to Little Pond
in whenever.
by late July.
This
And
is
that-
an executive summary, it's not a list of instructions for the oyster.
It's like,
Right.
yeah, I wouldn't even say late, just say July. Just say July.
I put this
Also-
in for editorial comments to the selfish people.
okay. I mean,
It just shows we're
it's,
doing
it's a really interesting idea to have a sequencing and 2 batches, and I think it's important to at least know how that's going to play out.
Yeah, because I added a bit more to this even. He actually cut some out, only because of saying that second batch of seed will be considered the first batch the next year. So we have this cycling going on, but it got complicated
Yeah.
as I wrote it out.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's a ongoing
Just so we're clear
Yeah.
that we're going 2 ages.
Right,
Okay, we all set?
every year.
All set with page 10?
No, oh, 10, yes.
10, okay, 11? 11,
11.
So we're on 11.
yeah, sorry.
Okay, okay, there's a correction that needs to be made in the mid-paragraph that starts design and permitting costs.
Yeah,
Okay, it's estimated to be 700,000,
I got that
of
also.
which 400,000 will
Right.
be paid from Article 17,
Right.
and then cross out of spring blah, 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 because you got it above, and we did too many words. And then start spring 2013 annual meeting, unanimously 200. Ballot approval was May 21st.
Wait, so you're saying eliminate well, it should say spring 2011 anyway, but after Article 17, we don't want to indicate when it was approved? Did you say to delete that?
No, because we have it up above. The very first sentence of this section is Article 17
Of the spring
of
2000.
the spring
2011.
2000.
11.
11.
11,
Right,
both
right,
times.
right,
Right,
11.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, 2011.
Okay.
It's a trivial typo.
Yes,
Second paragraph of the page,
yeah,
first line, Mass DEP is a which, not a who.
that's right.
Wasn't it nice?
Where which is spelled W-H-I-C,
Or
not
that.
W-I-T-C.
Has no objections, okay.
Or it could be a that.
Yeah, so which,
As long as we're on that second paragraph, I do have, can we change scrutinized to review, because scrutinized sounds,
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
right,
I don't know, you could read something into the use of that word.
right.
And he did. Yep,
But too close, huh?
all right. Your new best friend. Okay, anything else on page 11?
Just, I have some questions on this. This is on the inlet widening. The following tasks have been completed. When we say the third bullet, hydrodynamic and water quality modeling, is hydrodynamic, does that include flooding and concerns and that kind of thing, or? Because there
Well,
was,
For the nitrogen removal calculations.
It had to do with the flushing rate. It was, I mean, I
Okay.
suppose you could
No,
leave it
no,
out
no,
and
it's
just
okay.
say,
I didn't know if it was two different things. One was hydrodynamic, which was looking at what happens with the widening to the water, and then the second part was water quality monitoring, estimate effective nitrogen removal. But if it's all has to do with water exchange,
It all has to do with estimating the effect of nitrogen removal, that's all we've done, that's all we've really,
That's what
really done.
The
Okay,
model's secret, so we don't know.
It's not that long.
not that model.
The
No.
water quality.
No, John Ramsey did that one, I think. Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else on page 11? 12.
Do we have to say final design as in the next step of this project includes?
Where are you?
Which is that?
Bottom of page 11, inlet widening. The next steps of this project include final design, coordination, blah, blah, blah. It's not there.
Oh,
It might be nitpicking, I don't care, but you know, that is.
Could we say detailed design?
Okay.
yeah, project implementation is not,
Yeah, that's right, I would kind of.
yeah,
Okay,
so,
Project implementation covers it.
Yeah.
12.
That covers design and all that stuff.
I have a couple of things on 12. One is that in the third paragraph under 5.8, approximately 15 property owners of the planned, I put in of the planned 62, because later on we talk about 62 again,
right.
but in this, the 15 may change, right? That number should be
Well,
remembered.
as of press time.
The
Right,
demonstration.
that's what I mean, that number could
See, you
change.
can explain
Put the
this
word presently
completely.
in front of committed. Presently in front of committed.
No, but when this is finalized, that we should revisit that number if it's changed.
A couple weeks from now.
Well, you can just say as of and then put in some date.
We're committed to $80,000 worth.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we've got to get more money if we want to do larger number
And
of
the
people.
idea
That's
is
correct.
that there is, from my analysis and working with this, nobody's gonna take less than the maximum,
Okay.
What a surprise.
because the cost of the,
Yes.
no
Yeah.
installation is coming in lower
Lower.
than 5,000,
Right.
so everybody is qualified for the
Right.
5,000 plus the 300 of the pump
Right.
up, for a total of
Okay.
$5,300. So that's where an
Right.
up to 15 comes from. It's spending the $80,000.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Well, which is the limiting factor, the 80,000 or that you can't find other people?
The
The
80,000.
80,000.
The 80,000.
Well, that should be, that's a substantive
Just
fact.
Okay.
Demonstration group one is gonna be the $80,000, that's what the selectmen have authorized. If we have people in
Subsequent.
addition to that, it's an additional authorization from the Board of Selectmen
Right.
and
But
demonstration.
Do
it's
you?
only fair to make eco toilets look better, to
Yeah.
explain that you're limited by the 80,000, not by people signing up.
But they're not limited because once, how many more do you have on besides 15 that are ready to go? About, is it 5 or is it?
Yeah, 2 or 3,
Which was,
maybe, and some of those 15 may drop out.
Right.
oh, I see,
It's
okay.
not over.
Okay, the
till-
question
Yeah, yeah.
before us, is there any language in here that needs fixing? And
Right.
At this time.
At this time, we understand that it's a fluid situation, and maybe later some. it's
That's what
gonna
I'm
be-
saying, is
but-
it something?
but for right now,
This
this
may
is-
be revisited as we go on.
A number
Yeah.
of things will be, you know,
Okay.
it's a moving target, but right now, this is an accurate statement of where we stand today.
Yeah, and it's approximately 15, I
Okay,
would say. it's-
fine.
Well, it's
Stop.
not gonna change
Stop
that
right
fast.
there.
You put
We're
a
not gonna
date
talk
in,
about
and
it
then
anymore.
you don't want people complaining at every point along, oh, now it's
Right.
16, now it's 17.
He's absolutely right. Anything else on
Yeah.
page 12?
Well, it's, again, Article 17 of spring.
Oh, yeah, that, every time that shows up.
So we're just gonna say
ES
Article 17,
5.9.
we're not gonna say it again, paragraph after paragraph.
Yeah,
Correct?
right.
I'm just gonna say Article 17.
Okay, anything else on page 12? If not, we'll move on to 13.
Again, spring 2011.
Gone.
Yeah.
Okay. A motion to accept the executive summary as amended.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
Second.
discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Virginia.
Well, thank you,
Yeah.
Nate and Sia, and actually everybody who did a paragraph here. That really helped us to move along. Nate, I have a question about abbreviations. I'm always concerned about acronyms, and people need to have a place. There is some section of the document that has abbreviations, right? It's
right in the front, yeah. It's
Okay.
a listing of common acronyms or
Okay,
something like that.
all right.
And, yeah, we're gonna have to crank up the computer to go along and identify them all.
okay. Okay.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is,
Just one thing, I think maybe to facilitate the page, it may be easier. Sia can incorporate this, send it to Nate, then Nate will have a second look to make sure that it's the QA/QC.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
So I'm gonna take the changes
Yes.
that we made tonight, incorporate them, and then send you.
That's fine,
The
yeah.
red line version or whatever.
Send you a clean.
Final,
Right.
this.
what do you got?
Oh, I just have, you know, in this, in table
But
ES1,
I'm not.
Yes.
item 11.
You're out of order over there. Ron has the floor.
Oh, okay, item 11, it says $90 million town vote. Are we going to keep that, in this?
It's, we took it out of the text.
Right, but it's here in the, I'm just going back to my checking of the table.
Well,
It's
I-
approximately?
it is approximately. I think there needs to be some sense of what the size of the window is.
No, what I'm thinking of is that the water filtration plant
We
may
won't
be
get it
using
all.
half of this, right?
We won't get it all.
True.
So,
We don't know.
We don't know.
we don't know,
We don't
I know, but
Right.
to put 90 mil, I mean,
I suppose the point is the window could be 90, but our piece of it is totally
For water and wastewater.
undetermined.
We had this discussion with Kevin before.
We've had this discussion for about 4
I mean,
years.
the wording, I'm sorry. I thought that,
Well, yes, the selectmen said in general, don't presume that the whole window is going to go to wastewater, and we understand that.
And we complied with it.
But the reason, the public isn't, we've been dealing with relatively, every million is important, but we've been dealing with smaller windows. This is a more significant window, and so it needs a multi-project plan. And obviously, the town has a number of large projects, so. At this point, I'd leave it in.
Yeah, the draft CMP has been voted.
Okay.
Do we want to take a 5-minute break for cookies and
Yes.
come back to the
Yes.
next task, which is also a giant one?
We have cookies and cider,
Okay,
and it's,
it's now,
that's,
okay, 5-minute break.
Are we going to look at the rest of these, look at the rest of these things? I just wanted to go back to this and show this is not included in the, or yeah, it isn't included in this area.
well, what is shaded, it was the high priority nutrients planning area.
Coming up, yeah.
The old one, yes.
Yeah. But it doesn't.
It doesn't include the high priority. It just seems to me that we had, the only reason why we took Walkway East out of the original one was to reduce the price, because we were not going to sewer. We were not going to sewer. Now, we're still not going to sewer. That's correct. But it's a high priority, we're doing something. Okay, but it's going to be done in a different way. Yeah, but it's going to be done, the county in the shared watershed. The ground rules for how we handle that watershed have changed. Yes, they have. Seeding. So, and we don't even fully understand how it's looked at. I still would rather have it. You'd rather have it colored in. I'd rather have it colored in, I'd rather, because part of the other one is also part of it. All of Walkway is in there. No.
All right, everyone has received and has had time to look at the memorandum revised April 30th, 2013, which is the response to comments. Once again, Virginia has put in untold hours responding to, what, 227 comments?
And Nate as well.
And Nate.
Yeah.
But Nate's well paid for it, and you're not. So you're going to get the credit.
Well,
Anyway, the result of their labors is this, and it has 63 pages. So we'll zoom through them a little faster, I hope, than the other 13 pages.
And these aren't as binding. It should be just a synopsis and not a.
All right, so, do you want to have any introductory remarks? Or just
no,
roll right into it?
you'll recognize A1 because it's the same as page 1. This is the vision
Okay.
that we've already just gone through.
Okay, that's page 2. Any comment on page 2?
There's a typo. Right at A1.
Okay,
Information is provided.
right.
Okay, anything else on page 2? Page 3. Ron?
I just have a question, it's a generic question, because there's so many of these that say the information will be provided.
Right.
And I'm just wondering when or what is that just?
That's the body, that's the main report, and that document will be ready in about a month.
I see, okay. So,
Okay, so this simply refers, they've asked for something, and
Yeah.
this simply says, yep, we're going to provide it, and the obvious place is, it's in the report.
okay, well, just to be.
That's a generic answer to your generic question.
Right, and that'll be specified somehow, that it'll be in the report or something, or it'll be
Yeah.
by what date or something like that, just so it's.
The reference will be, and it's provided in chapter 5 or something like that.
Oh, I see, when
We
this
won't
is,
be quite as specific of, paid so-and-so, but yeah, chapter 5, when somebody wants to see how their information was addressed, we can kind of direct them to where it is.
I don't know if the last sentence in A3 is still appropriate. The town did adopt it, but it isn't quite enforced.
Right. Well, this actually was prepared 6 weeks ago. So, okay.
where are we now? Are we on page 2?
Page
Page 3.
Page 3, section A3.
Town has adopted A3. To protect over post-pressure marine, and is awaiting Attorney General approval.
Not anymore.
Well, okay.
Let's see, what do we say?
Was submitted special legislation to facilitate.
Well, we'd have to go into give all the details, I guess.
One
I'm looking at Nate.
Is, given it's 9 o'clock, but the other thing is fresh, do you want to table this till next week?
No.
That's good.
We'll never get these people to come back if they think this is coming up next week. Let's run through it. We're here. Let's go. What do you got? Want to take out that sentence right now, or I don't care.
We are on page 3?
Page 3, section A3. Yeah.
How about the town is pursuing,
Make it consistent.
or some
Executive
other
summary.
verb like that?
I'll just send the language that is in the executive summary.
Perfect. Okay. Anything else on page 3?
Wait, do I have the right thing in front of me? I do. Maybe, okay. Just a point on this comment on Orleans, am I in the right basin time? Or maybe I went through the wrong version. Because they all-
April 30th, right? That's the.
Well, we originally said that the information would be
Right.
available up through
Okay.
Just make sure
But-
we're working out the same value.
Oh, okay.
He's looking at the wrong
Oh,
thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a threshold question. Does everybody have the April 30th volume in their hand?
I don't have the right one.
It's
I
not
don't have the
thick
right
enough.
one. I don't have the right one, no. I thought this
30th.
was- I have one with
provides April
answers
30th.
in it that are.
What does it say? No, it's this thick, and we handed it
Yeah,
out
right,
at
right,
the,
right.
It was handed out
at the
last,
May
Okay.
session.
Yeah.
last meeting.
okay.
May
All
2nd.
right. Let's go.
Do we
forward.
have an extra one he could look at?
You can look at, why don't you look at mine? Okay.
You and I can, there. I know.
Oh, okay.
All right. Page 3.
Okay.
Hearing nothing. Page 4. Page 5.
I have one small thing at the top of page 5. All previous evaluations will be included in appendices to provide a complete history of the CMP evaluations. I would like to just leave the rest of the sentence off. I don't know what it means.
I agree. You're right.
All right,
Yeah, it's really good.
fine.
Anything else on page 5? Page 6. Page 7.
The A24, plans to, parentheses, has consulted, doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
I made a comment when I was reading A20. Is this responsive enough? And I didn't make any further comment on that.
Well, on A24, when this thing is finally published, the word will be that we have consulted. At this moment, the answer is we have not. So
Right.
We have scheduled a meeting.
scheduled, and we're meeting as we can. There's a great long list of people they want us to meet with.
So it's plans to consult with,
Okay.
right?
Well, but at the time it gets finished, it's gonna be has consulted, so,
Sure.
you know, that's.
Right,
We will say has consulted, but we can't quite say it yet. So we chose this.
Oh,
It's a placeholder.
There will be revisions to this as we fill in the chapters. There's gonna be.
Okay, okay. So we're not voting on something that's going to be cut in stone tonight? Okay, good.
No.
That relieves my mind.
Yeah,
The
no,
biggest thing that we wanna do here is, does the tone sound right?
Mhm.
It's kind of a tedious job.
Well, we're gonna do it.
Virginia did a very good job of.
Ace, anything else on page 7? Page 8.
Line 22.
Page 9?
Just 1 second.
8? Okay, hold up on 8.
No, excuse me, that was I'm sorry. Go ahead. That was a note to myself that this,
Okay, page 9.
Wait, on 8, I
Eight.
just, under 826, there's this, total organic carbon. I mean, there is also this question about CECs, and this has been raised by a number of people. And I know we say it's outside of the scope of our work, right? But it's a factor. And how is that?
It's a
regulatory guidance.
I think you address it later on, when other people have commented on it, it gets addressed. Am I right, Nate?
I'm just trying to get a sense of what the comment was to see whether the answer addressed it or not. So zone 2s.
Well, the comment originally was concerned about Zone 2s, and none of the discharges are into Zone 2s. Zone 2 is the water supply. So it's a concern, and they always throw the CECs into it to heighten the concern. But in fact, this town does not do that. We do not discharge into any Zone 2. So in a sense, it's a non-issue.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
So there are no wells in West Falmouth? Nothing
No
over
water
there, okay.
supply wells.
Okay.
I don't believe the town will ever discharge into a water supply zone.
Okay.
Okay,
I
anything
mean,
else?
private
Anything else
ones
on
or
eight?
whatever, okay.
Okay, page 9. Page 10.
If I might.
Sure.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, earlier it stated that Site 10 has been ruled out because of whatever reasons, but it's again back in the comment, but that hasn't been reiterated in the explanation or the answer.
Which
But
answer?
under water quality monitoring
Yeah.
and adaptive management, it has,
A20
activities at the
A33.
new Site 10 refluent recharge location, okay. So it should say that it's just a note here, maybe saying that it's no longer in the picture.
No one currently being evaluated.
Yeah,
Where-
we don't need Site 10.
Where
Right,
are
so-
you?
This is under water quality monitoring adaptive management, A32 on page
So it's
10.
A32.
Well,
Yeah.
no,
No,
it's actually
A33.
A33. The
A33.
Right.
A33 is the response to the text
Oh, right,
above.
sorry.
that
A33,
mentions
right,
Site
right,
10.
right,
At the
right,
proposed
okay,
new
right.
Site 10, okay,
Right.
well, so the answer is Site 10 is no longer being proposed.
Make that clear.
It's great.
Yeah, just that Site
Right.
10 is no longer in the picture, right.
Right. Anything else on 10?
Okay.
Page 11.
I'd like to speak with
Yeah, sorry.
A34.
Sure.
Is this responsive to the, it doesn't mention anything about the annual TMDL compliance report, and I'm not sure, because I don't know anything about the Chatham CWMP. Is it fully responsive to all of the points that they were making there? It doesn't mention anything about an annual TMD compliance report or what we decided to do about that, or not decided not to do about it.
Well, the approach that I've taken is that the town is sort of trying to reassure them that, we're gonna do something similar to what Chatham did. And I would advise you to try to avoid a lot of reporting requirements, because it's a very difficult administrative burden. And Chatham took that approach. So this is a way of concisely saying, hey, we're going to
Okay.
follow the precedent that's been set by Chatham, and
Okay.
that's the way. It's kind of brief without having to say or fight every one of the things that they say
Okay.
we should do.
Without knowing what Chatham had to say, I didn't really
Yeah.
know what you were talking about.
And I guess that was a little bit by design, in some ways. I guess the only reason why I can feel comfortable saying Chatham, it's the only one that's really been approved and gone forward. So there's precedent there, and I would advise you to try to use that precedent to the best of your advantage
Right.
as you negotiate those things.
It behooves us to look at it and see whether it satisfies
There's
our
supposed to
needs.
be a plan in the CWMP, so the adaptive management, the actual text of a plan is being referred to in our plan. So if something specific and concrete is gonna be written, and it's gonna be, in chapter whatever, we're
Okay.
gonna make a note
Okay.
that.
Just from a sort of policy standpoint, the question really was, they use this thing about this phrase, an annual TMDL report in the question. Our response is, I like this line that says that it involves trust between the shareholders and the response. I think as a committee, we have understand that we need to explain what we're doing, where the progress is and status on a fairly regular basis. The question is, what's the best form for us to gather that information, provide that information? And whether it's the Chatham model or the model we have ourselves, we're not saying to them, we think having to tell you what we're doing or where we're at or what we're doing on a regular basis is a bad idea. We're just not saying we will commit for eternity some annual report that's not yet defined, right?
Right.
So we're actually saying, yes, we owe you some level of reporting, and B, we'll work together to get the right form of that report in front of you. Is that what this answer says?
That's pretty much what it says.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's
Okay.
gotta be robust, and yeah, we're gonna work with you with trust.
Okay, that's fine.
Just a question,
Matt.
does Chatham really have an AMP, adaptive management?
Yep.
Yeah, they do,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought there's sewer in the whole place.
Well, they have a plan that says that in a worst-case scenario, they have the ability to sewer everything, and they've got the ability to treat it and discharge it. The adaptive management plan is getting to the point that if they don't feel as though they have to sewer the whole thing, or if they can find,
Oh, so it's just a degree of sewer.
yeah, it's the degree of sewering that they would have to do.
Might I suggest then, just this is, following up on what I was saying, that because we don't really have this plan in front of us yet. In your answer, 834, the line that says, on the fourth line down, similar to that prepared for Chatham, just strike that out. Because the AMP for Falmouth will be prepared and summarized in the CWMP/FEIR. The AMP for Falmouth will be summarized. Whether or not our AMP is exactly similar to Chatham or not.
We might not want to have it similar to
I don't
Chatham.
think we want to get into an argument about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't think it will be.
So we're gonna take that out.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
also among the stakeholders. Just to keep Jerry, since Jerry knows I'm an English major.
I agree with him on that one.
You too can work for the New Yorker. All right, I'm
Call
on.
Bill up, he needs editors.
No. I've been scouring that newspaper for years looking for an editorial mistake. I haven't found one
No,
yet.
they're very good.
You're speechless, aren't you?
I'm speechless. He needs an editor.
Proofreader.
Let's go.
Spell check.
Oh, I need one, but I don't say. I know. I'm a disabled vet.
Next
Okay,
page.
page 11.
All right, just one question on this. Under the answer 35, is Sandwich part in the, does a watershed come down from Sandwich to Aquoit Bay?
Well,
Yes.
there's a very tiny portion of Sandwich within the watershed, so I guess we should mention it.
Sandwich would vigorously dispute that anything from Sandwich ever gets to Wacoit Bay.
Yeah, and I think they would be correct.
Right.
Yeah, but our maps all show it coming in, right?
Right, we
Yeah,
do.
but if
Okay.
you put it in there, then you have problems with the second sentence, because you haven't met with them and you're not sharing information.
No, we will.
Well, the second sentence is true in and of itself, and
Right,
it
yeah,
just, we
but
have not taken any action
True.
on Sandwich.
Strike with Mashpee and MMR. The town will continue to identify potential regional solutions, period.
Good. Okay,
Yeah.
The town has met with the Mashpee Sewer Commissioners and the two
Right.
communities are sharing information.
good.
Well, we could say the town will continue to identify potential regional solutions for Wacoit Bay, and then the town has met with Mashpee Sewer
The answer
Commission.
is specific to Aquoit Bay.
Yeah, it is.
Already. You don't
Yeah,
have to say
they asked about Wacoit Bay, we're answering about
Okay,
Wacoit Bay, so
okay.
we're good.
Which is on the list of people to meet with.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else on 11? 12. Thirteen. 14. 15.
One quick comment on 15, on A46, all those dates in there after that earlier discussion about which town meeting and everything we're going to, is this actually the correct
The
thing, or
flow,
does this need to be cleaned up?
flow neutral land use control, we're not calling it that.
But I was working, yep, you could change the words, but I was I got a little confused earlier, Virginia, when you were describing which town meetings
Yeah.
we were going to.
Yeah.
Good
Are
question.
these the right town, and the answer to 846, do we have the right?
Projects going, that flow neutral land use control will consider.
Are we going to town meeting in the fall with the land use control stuff?
That's correct.
Okay. Fall
And the
to
betterment formulation will be considered, okay, the betterment is going to be considered in the fall town meeting
2014?
of
It will not-
2013.
It will not be fall 2014, that's
No,
for
no, no,
sure.
no, no, it's 2013.
2013, right?
Yeah.
all
Okay,
right.
so both the land use
Yep.
and the betterment are in fall of
Right.
2013, okay.
Yep,
Okay.
All right, I
And
think
it's the proposed flow neutral bylaw or regulation.
Right.
yeah,
Land use control is not in that.
right.
Yeah, you gotta clean up that phrase here. I want to make sure we have the right dates in here.
Right,
Flow neutral regulation is what we've been calling it.
regulation, well, flow neutral bylaws.
Well, you've been calling it regulation in the other parts, so
Oh,
I'm
okay.
trying to be
All right,
consistent here.
regulation.
So whatever phrase we use in the executive summary, we should use here.
Yep.
I don't know how specifically responsive we have to be to the exact questions they ask. On A45, they're talking entirely about growth management if we sewer everything. And we talk about just, and it's fine, is it fine enough just to say
We're
what we
gonna,
do? Or-
yep,
Because we're going to do growth management for, if we don't sewer, we're also going to do growth management.
well, we'll
It's
see.
not part of our charge.
No,
But the answer is perfectly general.
yeah,
Yeah.
We'll present the town's plans,
right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
unless
so,
maybe you have to put in more than one chapter
yeah,
number.
yeah.
And you do.
So we don't have to tell them.
No, we don't have to go point by point
Yeah.
on comments.
We have to tell them where to find the answer.
Okay.
I just have a,
Yeah. Okay, anything else on 14?
Wait, yeah.
Back to 14, go ahead.
Nate, I sent you an email a while ago that has 2 paragraphs that detail what's going on.
Would go into there.
It should have gone into there. I sent it to the 3 of you. I guess you never got it. I just saw this the other day. So because there's 2 paragraphs worth of information that aren't in here, should I send it to everybody so everybody can see it?
Is this A41, the more
This is
information to
841.
come from
Yeah,
SIA?
it already came.
Okay,
All right, so you're going to resend and you'll send it to everybody.
And I'm
Okay.
just gonna send it to everybody just procedurally so you all know what we're gonna say.
okay.
Okay.
just,
All right.
we might also, it talks about RISE engineering and the Mass Save program incentives, but there's also the Cape Light Compact.
That paragraph's been totally rewritten. We're doing
Oh.
an investment grade audit for the whole
Oh, here,
town.
oh, I see, okay.
Okay, so that'll be part of what you're sending around? Okay, good.
Is this the place also to do life cycle costs for all the alternatives?
No, because they're specifically asking questions about the wastewater treatment facility
Oh,
and putting, I mean, it was specifically to physical plant changes and what they want to see for energy efficiency and potential renewable energy siting at the plant.
Is there any place where we do that in
We
this
talked about the life cycle, I think there is, but
energy
it's
cost?
of the alternatives.
No, he meant the.
Compared to, well, everything, sewering,
Yeah, of everything.
oysters.
Right.
There is a place where we're gonna do it.
I don't think we've done it yet, have we?
It's
in
implied
there.
under the adaptive
I
management.
think it's part of the adaptive management.
Okay.
Right,
Oh, yeah, okay.
right.
It will be done.
And it's that section.
That's not good enough. I mean, that's not.
Well, I don't think
You're
we've
saying
done
it's
it.
gonna be done and it's not written anywhere?
What we
That
should
doesn't-
say,
that
we're
doesn't
gonna
cut
do
it.
It is written. It
Where?
exactly
Show me.
says right here, comparative cost evaluations, number 7 on the action item of the executive summary.
Mhm.
Those comparative cost
That's it.
evaluations are all costs. They're first cost, they're O&M costs, and O&M is part of operations and
Doesn't it
energy.
deserve a paragraph in here someplace?
In the in the response to comments?
Is there a comment that asks about that and somewhere later on maybe, or someplace? No?
I think there were some.
What's the investment grade audit cover? Does it cover
All town buildings.
and life cycle costs of the energy for them?
No, it's an energy efficiency audit.
Well, we're getting a little far afield here. What are we, where in this volume do we talk about that?
It would be the adaptive management plan, because it would be part of the methodology of, that you
Okay.
all would take into your charge
Okay, so
to see how to implement feasible projects that have proven feasible through the demonstration and how feasible they are. They're gonna have to be, how
Yeah.
cost effective. So
Yeah.
there's gonna be a step, I presume, after you do your demonstration projects to see just how feasible they are in a dollar per pound basis or however you're gonna do it.
This is a good time to
Wait,
ask.
we're talking about,
Or to say that I think that when we write the plan itself, when we do in the plan, when we do the adaptive management section, we should lay out how we expect to do that. We should lay out the framework of what we're, now, before we should lay out the framework of how we were going to do it before we actually do any of it, so that when it comes to the time that we're actually doing them, they will know what framework we're going to follow.
But that's not needed in this paragraph.
No, it's not needed in this paragraph.
okay, well, let's stick with this paragraph. What do we need here?
All right, it sounds like what we need here is the 2 paragraphs that Sia wrote.
Right.
Okay, and they will be circulated. It may turn out that that's one little thing we revisit at our meeting next week. So Sia, that should go out tomorrow.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else on page 15? Page 16. Page 17.
I have a query.
Yeah.
In B5, they mention Catomet Street to the south. Where is Catomet Street? What is Catomet Street?
It's one of the streets in Mar Vista. Mar Vista runs north-south.
Yes.
And then there are all these cross streets. And Catomet Street is one of the last cross streets. So it's the lower end of the peninsula.
And we say that,
It is the last cross street before you get to Manon.
and these areas have been reevaluated, have been added into the proposed sewer extension area.
Catomet
Yes.
Street, way down here.
It was my belief that that was going to be left out of the area.
Catomet Street,
all out.
there are 2 houses on Catomet Street that are within the watershed. They're
these 2.
serviced by low-pressure pumping system,
Okay.
and so they're in it. The rest of
These 2
Catomet
are
Street
in,
is,
everyone else
I
is
see,
out.
okay.
Everyone
and
else is
those are out.
But I think and I know that we agree, we may have to look into that because of other issues.
Okay,
That's what I was asking.
right, true enough.
We left that whole area south of,
South of there. It's all in
The map
a,
is gonna eventually show us that.
page-
Okay.
yeah, it's a velocity zone.
Page 16.
where?
Anything else on page 16?
You said, I thought you said 17.
Oh, well, let's do 17.
I thought you were on 17.
It was, and we kind of slipped off the page. 17, okay. Nothing on 17. 18.
I thought it was good. I was happy with that.
Can we assume that everybody's marked what they're going to talk about so that they don't need to read it? So that if you haven't gotten a response, in about 5 seconds, we go to the next page?
I'll try
Just a
that.
suggestion.
19.
On B10, I suggest see response A5 and B6. Add B6 to that. It just seems to me that would be,
A5 and B6.
yeah.
Okay, everybody happy with that? Anything else on 19? 20.
No response needed. 21.
I was going to give it 5 seconds. All right, 21.
Oh, let me see, I did make a comment.
'22.
No problem.
23.
B22 does not mention eco-toilets, should it?
Yes, then there's certain.
Oh, no, they
No.
didn't mention eco, oh, I'm sorry, they didn't mention eco-toilets, they should have.
Well, that's their fault.
That's their problem, okay,
Yeah.
so have to hell with it.
Anything else on 23?
I just, on the answer of B24, if you didn't put the last 3 lines in, would the answers still be acceptable? I'm just, I was wondering what the thought was beyond maybe what, I mean, I think it's nice that we say we may need to disagree, but then to sort of say, you know, if you force us to do this, the town may revolt, might, I don't know if it's necessary. You know,
You could skip it.
This is B24?
B24.
yeah, I mean, also the town is cognizant that town meeting appropriations board may not be possible, the town is forced to commit to a contingency plan. I think that they want to push back on this, we can then give them the next response saying, you know, you can try to force us on this, but, you know,
Yeah.
I mean,
But why don't you want to tell them that now?
well, here's the thing, this will mean nothing to them, okay? I mean, at one point, a federal judge told everybody in the 45 communities around Boston, they basically told the legislature, the governor, everybody else, okay, great, you know, you can
Do it.
call our bluff, now go do it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
So, at this point here, we don't really hold much in the way of cards to call their bluff on this
Right.
one. I think we're better off politely saying we need to agree to disagree.
Yep.
And, you know, we're
Yep.
gonna work as hard as we can to get support for you to do our plan.
Right, yeah, I agree. Let's get that
Okay.
out.
I think.
Yeah, it's a red flag waving in their faces.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
Thank you.
I wrote at the bottom, I hope this flies.
I mean, it may,
Yeah.
you know, they know that that's how we feel.
Of course,
Yeah.
right. Every town thinks,
Every
town and every issue. 24. 25.
Yeah, C2 about the ocean outfall
That's
is
on 20.
inconsistent with, it's consistent with, no, it's inconsistent with G9. Well, we have to, you somehow have to make G9, J3, and C2 consistent. Are you doing considering an ocean outfall or not? One of them at least, not all three are the same.
Considering it, but not detailing, evaluating at this point in time. Subject to.
I mean, C2 says it's not one of the components currently in the CWMP.
Right, G9 says it's not carrying this option forward.
But then you look at
And
J3,
J3 has many, will continue to work.
will continue to work with BBC and others as they work to
Yes.
develop that alternative.
Well,
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
that's a good point.
But, well, yeah, it's not in the plan, but we can work with others who are thinking about it.
Right, but it's in the DEIR.
As
I mean, it's
Something
okay to
we're-
be doing
something-
Says
secret
includes
things
an
that you're
ocean
not
outfall
talking about in the
treatment.
plan.
It says, it's one of the options.
Just
No, I don't mean
clarified-
secret,
just
but I mean-
clarified it that
yeah, let's
Dark horse candidates.
Have we dropped that completely?
No, not,
Oh.
right, and
it's not
so,
been evaluated. No. It may be evaluated in the future.
well, I think G9 is probably not correct. The town is not carrying this option forward at this time, because
It's not
it-
evaluated.
Yeah,
in
that
detail.
was my original thing, is that
Yes.
it's not so much C2, I just happened to
Yes.
notice this, but G9 and J3
need to be,
aren't consistent.
right.
Okay, how about if we, in G9, we say, C response C2?
Yeah, that makes it.
I mean, you know, we
Yeah.
engineers have a way of saying, you say it once, you say it correct, and then you always refer back.
Correct.
I just want, if I can for 1 second, I just want to frame this whole sort of conversation. It's going to give you a little bit of where does the effluent go? So we've got a treatment plant now, discharge at the West Falmouth site. We picked out these other two sites, we've started to do some work. We're now going to switch around and look at some other variants of that, because we're currently taking less than 500,000 gallons at any one time to the current plant. We're looking at a couple 100,000 plus more. So we've got a 700, 800,000 gallon number to get rid of, because we've not committed to going any further in the sewering world than that.
Right.
And so at that point there, if one just does desktop stuff like we've done so far, the cost of going to and developing a whole ocean outfall probably is not something we should be spending a lot of time on right now. 5, 6, 8 years from now, this whole thing is in the path that we're now saying, boy, we need to have, I know nobody wants to hear this, 1 million or 1.5 million of treatment. We're gonna need to resurface the whole ocean outfall issue.
Right.
Okay, because there's no groundwater location right now from everything we're looking at that would appear to be viable. And so I think the exercise all the way along here is not to, at this stage, say we are you know, ocean outfalls are off the table and they're never gonna be considered by the town again. We're just trying to tiptoe around that phraseology here, right? They're not part of what we're trying to do with the effluent for the
Right.
lower Little Pond area, right?
Right,
So
so
maybe the answer needs to say, ocean outfalls are not under consideration for the wastewater component from the lower Little Pond
Yeah.
area at this time.
That's what C2 says, pretty much.
Or
Right.
you just, you leave C2 and G9 intact. They're consistent with each other. And they're true.
They are if you know everything around it. I'm just just walking us through
Yeah.
where we're at, so
No, I'm going along with what you're
Okay,
saying. I'm
okay.
saying, if you leave C2 intact, you leave G9 intact, and then you just change the second sentence of J3 to be even less direct. In other words, we'll
Well, it could
continue
say
to listen to
CC2.
what other groups have to say about this option, or I'll leave it up to the New Yorker to come up with the exact wording, but something, just, you know, that we'll keep our eye on what the other people are doing in case something comes along.
Will it muddy the waters at all if I say that for C2, you say use of the outfall is not a component currently, as listed in response A1, but continues to be of interest?
there we go.
Okay.
Remains an item of of future, for future consideration or.
Okay.
That's good, because it puts it both in the same paragraph
Right.
there.
Not current, but future,
Yeah.
Right.
of future interest.
Okay,
Remains a subject of future
Fu-
interest.
future interest,
Yeah.
okay.
Thank you.
And
Anything
then
else?
then it's consistent with G9
Right.
and J3, and you don't have to change them.
Anything else on 25?
On 20, oh, no, no,
Page 26.
33.
Page 27.
The only thing on C5, just, I think the growth control bylaw regulation, just make the phraseology consistent.
Flow neutral.
Flow neutral. Okay, 27. '28.
I hate to do this to you, but if you go into D1,
This
D1
is
on page 26, is
back on-
that still a viable statement? Is this true? Proposed new treated water recharge site?
A habitat assessment has been completed, and we will proceed with the pre-filing process. I don't think we're quite there yet, are we?
I don't know, I thought there was some habitat
Okay.
assessment done.
Yeah, there has been some
Yeah.
habitat assessment.
Right.
I might have gotten confused with my two sites, never mind. Did I just get confused with the two sites? Tell me I got confused with two sites.
Yes,
We had 7 and 10, right?
yeah, 7 and 10, yeah,
Okay, so do we have a new treated water recharge site?
beyond 7,
We do have 7, we're still looking at
we're
7.
still looking at
Okay,
7.
thank you.
That is still
I
the
just,
current plan.
my mind got transposed on something, never mind.
27.
So that habitat assessment should go to them before we meet with them, that habitat assessment.
Sorry.
27.
Yeah.
28. 29. 30. 31.
Oh,
I like F14.
and then,
Nice when somebody gives you a compliment, you go, yeah.
Okay, I just, on F11, I made the remark, did we take input from marine fishers? They asked us to provide, would like to provide input. Did we actually take input from them? You don't say that. We don't thank them for their input.
We're meeting with them.
We've been meeting with them?
So does the F go in front of the EIR and all these things, or do we just eliminate
No,
F?
but I think what Wynn is saying is
Oh.
that our answer of F11 doesn't speak to their offer to provide input.
Yeah.
Well, Hasn't Marine Fisheries had input? I thought they had.
Yeah.
DM,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
not different. I was thinking DFW. Yes, Marine Fisheries.
Has had a
absolutely.
lot of input.
Okay.
And
And they came to one of our meetings.
I think, yeah.
Okay, so we've done it.
But then the answer should say that, yes, thanks for that input, and we've put it in chapter
Yeah.
X.
All right. How about just thank you for your input and review?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Because we did get input and review from them.
Nate, what do you think?
Well, I'm a little bit vague of just what they've provided. Whether you really want to thank them for it or. So I'm at a little bit of a loss of exactly what the response would be.
Right, they've been involved.
Just start the answer by saying input from marine fisheries is welcome. The embayment monitoring plan details have been developed and are provided.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Input from
Yeah,
them
but-
is welcome.
But
Yeah.
continued input.
Continued
Good, okay.
input from marine fisheries is welcome.
And I can clarify exactly what they told us on the
Fine.
Little Pond project.
Beautiful. 31, anything else on, anyone else on 31?
I just have a question on F-13. Are there any offshore eelgrass beds at either Little Pond or Bourne's Pond Inlet? Are there any?
Yes.
What?
In the sound?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We didn't actually, then we're not really responding to what they said there. I mean, we're going to do the modeling and so forth, but we didn't say that
Right.
specifically we're going to look at the inlet, at the eelgrass beds.
Well, it'll be done on a case-by-case basis, so when we do Bourne's Pond, we'll be doing various kinds of monitoring of both grasses
Yeah.
and biota.
Can you say the permitting process will ensure that the locations for inlet widenings will avoid offshore eelgrass beds?
Yeah. It almost looks as if you're saying, well, they don't have any eelgrass beds there. These are the only ones we're doing, they don't have any
You're
eelgrass
right,
beds.
it doesn't
Which we
speak
don't
to
even
their
know, right.
objection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't speak to their objection.
Okay. Nate, can we do something with that?
These are the only ones that would be considered for demonstration projects at this time, and eelgrass beds will be evaluated.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah. Fine.
32. $33.
Oh, wait just a second. Okay, this is, okay, yeah. So this is where I noticed that oyster pond thing, 32, G3. And you're just saying it's expected to be a targeted watershed plan and receive, okay, fine,
Yes.
very good, good, okay, gotcha.
34. $35.
There's a typo in the first line of H2.
You went too fast.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to say something about G11, as usual, Walkway Bay.
Okay, sure.
No CWMP FAR components. Either you could say CA35, which speaks to Walkway Bay, the fact we're going to do something with Walkway Bay, or say something about no components of the Walkway are currently planned. However, and put something about the fact that that we are considering this with Mashpee.
I think this is where we talk about the regional planning and the shared watersheds, which is sort of come more to the front since we originally drafted this.
That's
So I think there
835
needs to be
talks about
another
that.
sentence in there that we intend to work with the town of Mashpee under the umbrella of the 208 regional planning as a shared watershed.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm sorry, I was looking at something else.
G11.
G11.
Okay, so G11, you're gonna add a sentence about shared watersheds, Cape Cod Commission regional planning.
Would it be enough just to say CA35, which speaks to that?
it would, but I think if it's right here, I would
okay.
feel better,
Okay.
so it's a clear commitment.
Good, good.
All right. Anything else on 33? $34. 35. 34, sorry. No, well, 34, 35, yep. Yeah, H1, firstly. From my understanding, that the research that was done by Linda Deegan and her team showed actually that salt marshes are destabilized by excess nutrients coming in, nitrogen in particular.
Excess.
Right, right. So the question then comes in here where we're talking about what are considered salt marsh systems that are capable of assimilating higher concentrations and loads seems to be questionable based on that recent finding.
Well, I would disagree to some degree. Salt marshes systems are definitely capable of assimilating higher concentrations and loads. The question is up to what point? And what she did was to superload the marshes and found that there was, a point at which they appeared to not be able to assimilate further. There has been some discussion that there may actually have been other factors that she may not have considered. So it wasn't necessarily just fertilizer. So there's, a discussion among scientists going on about that. That's my input to your comment. I don't know whether, Nate, you would. There's no question that salt marshes do have the capability of assimilating higher concentrations, and that is a recognized fact within the scientific community and within SMAST and Bryan House.
Yeah, I think that this is documented. The Cockle Cove work that was done by the MEP is documented, and so that's why it's referenced there. Certainly, there is sort of conflicting science and conflicting ideas that are out there. So that's why I'm referencing work that was done by the MEP, thinking that that's state approved.
That's been accepted. I think that Linda Deegan may or may not be accurate. The point is, until the state and other people accept it, we're referencing accepted documents by the state.
I think, if I can, when we got the report on the whole Wild Harbor system, the way they treated Wild Harbor and the way they treated the tributary creek and the salt marsh tributary to it in terms of its characteristics is not consistent with, I think, how they've treated the top end of West Falmouth Harbor and Mashpee Creek. And so we're sort of saying, why is in one place, the real sort of open question here is, at what point, why do they pick and choose the way they will address the, maybe they should be take whatever they're applying to Mashpee Creek and apply it over to Wild Harbor or not, but there seems like it's not consistent. So this is the start of a conversation. This response is the start of a conversation about we need to get into agreement on how we're treating what the assimilative capacities are. Because I think your line that says an estuary is probably more, an estuary is more sensitive than a salt marsh, is sort of the fundamental principle here that doesn't seem to be the way they applied it at that piece of the harbor. So the question is, how's it all working? But
well, yeah, I think that the way this is written, though, it's in reference to Cockle Cove Creek, that this is a study that was done or some estimate of what it could handle. But are there examples in the literature that I'm not familiar with that show that effluent, treated effluent, or similar nitrogen loads enrich versus degrade salt marshes or have a neutral impact on salt marshes? I don't know that literature.
Well, all of John Todd's work is based on the premise that salt marshes and created wetlands do absorb nitrogen in great quantities, and that's a good thing. I mean, that's what he's peddling all over the country.
Well, his has been in these greenhouse managed systems. It hasn't been in too much in the open.
True, but they are wetlands and they are absorbing.
I don't think we can resolve this here.
You're right.
I mean,
Okay.
this is a quick
Fair enough.
summary.
I'm
Fair
just
enough.
saying, I'm just saying whether this
You're
is
absolutely right. All right, what do we want to do about page 34?
You know, the simple point is that Moses Bay Coalition did some sampling. They got a number. They said because it's an estuary, the number's too high for nitrogen. What Nate is saying here is if it were considered a salt marsh, the threshold number would not be too high.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the point that
Right.
Nate is trying to make here, and it's a completely valid point.
Right.
If this were characterized and categorized as a salt marsh system, the 4 or 0.04 milligrams per liter of nitrogen that they've been measuring would not have put it too high. It would have been perfectly fine.
But Snug Harbor is not an estuary?
Snug Harbor is not at
It
issue.
says here, it's talking about National Creek was a function, the total load that was allowed into Snug Harbor.
Right, and what they're saying is that is an estuary, and they're likening Herring Brook.
And Herringbrook isn't.
And Herringbrook is not an estuary.
And Herringbrook
Right.
is not an estuary,
Right.
it's a salt
But-
marsh, so they
but-
took
You
an
know,
estuary.
Herringbrook is a coastal.
Right. Jerry's quite right. We can't solve it tonight. This is the language that you prepared in a previous response, quite a while ago, yeah.
Would it be better to simplify that language and say something much simpler?
No, because
Just what you said?
but you get to the last line here, it says an S-Master evaluation plan for Herringbrook to fully address this comment. So we're just trying to outline,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
They've
that-
raised
that there's
issues.
this- There's this disconnect going on that,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't, the answer says, it's not really clear whether it's an estuary or a salt marsh.
Right.
If it's a salt marsh, it's probably a number like this based upon this other stuff done by Howes et al. And S-Mass is gonna do some more work out here, right?
And plus, they've already done work.
We've been, Herringbrook, and we had the discussion, is a brook, it's a coastal river. We had this discussion, okay? S-Mass, if it becomes impaired, will be done on Herringbrook. You know, let other people decide how far into the estuaries they go. I don't think a 303D list has come out on an estuary. It comes out on surface waters, brooks.
We are getting way off
No,
topic.
I know,
Yeah.
just-
You know, okay. To be fair, the coalition has gotten more back and forth from this town
Yes.
in the last couple of months on this subject than any other topic. So I don't think there's any shortage of communication with the coalition.
Can I just one thing? The key sentence here is unfortunately the last one.
Right.
The S-MAST evaluation is planned.
I don't know,
But
Hear me out. What if you only had that sentence and all the detail that's before it, which is what gets people into this highly technical, controversial mode, was put somewhere else?
well, except
Or
it
left
isn't planned. We're not paying for it.
it hasn't been decided.
No one's planned. I don't know where that came
It
from.
says, but it says it is planned.
Oh, I
It
was
says that.
trusting
I think
that.
that may be inaccurate.
Yeah,
I think
you could
we
say
might-
under consideration
Yeah.
rather
Well,
than planned.
But the next sentence is even more important. S-MAS has completed similar evaluations for other tidal creeks and salt marshes. So if they've done that, then there's data for similar referenced environments,
Right.
whether it's an estuary or a salt marsh.
Like
If that's the
Cockle Cove.
case, then that's what really should be
Like
highlighted.
Cockle Cove.
Like Cove,
Yes,
and the reference is
right.
right there for some.
Right.
Or
Yes.
we just say a further evaluation.
Yeah, but
And I thought Wild Harbor River was
Cockle
also
Cove was
considered a marsh.
evaluated, it wasn't tested.
Okay, we got to get back. We got to get back to business here. On the
Anyway.
language, let's get something and get going.
Well, for the time being, I think you need to leave it as is, and with the possible change that S-MAST evaluation is under consideration for
Right.
Herringbrook.
Clearly not planned. Yeah.
That's-
Okay. Okay. Anything else on 35?
So the typo in H2 is an extra G in hydraulic.
Yeah, that's their typo. I didn't correct all of theirs.
That's fine, yeah, that's their typo.
All right. Okay,
In the
yeah,
answer,
yeah, we can't correct them.
on H3, this is again sort of the politics of it. The question says the coalition is concerned. Our response is we are interested in how the coalition believes. They just express a concern. I think if you struck the first sentence out and just our response was the MEP watershed delineation does not show it linked, and the groundwater modeling does not show
Right.
it linked.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
It's fine.
it's a little smarmy. We are
okay.
interested in how, no, that's,
Okay.
I agree.
You know,
I think-
they just said that they said they're concerned it might be linked, and our response is from everything we see so far, it's
Right.
not linked.
Skip the first sentence.
You know, I'm glad that's out because I was going to suggest we make a phone call.
Not tonight.
No, we make a phone call. I mean, it would just be a phone call to talk this through with them and figure it out.
We've been talking plenty to them. We've got to get this thing through tonight.
Right.
What else? Anything else on 35?
Yeah, that's good.
36.
You know, it wears you down
No, I keep
addressing
saying
these
that.
things.
That's why
and
it's good to have more than one person read it.
That is the.
Okay, anything else on 36? 37?
Yeah, 36, I just have, if this 1.8 maximum monthly peaking factor.
Where are you? What paragraph?
H5.
H5, sorry. Would we multiply 0.29 MGD times 1.8 and indicate that for that because of that maximum? I'm not sure what the 0.29, if you're talking about this other peaking factor and everything, and it comes out to this 3.8, which is being disputed, but is 0.29 the peaking factor would then bring it up to 0.6 or something, or point?
Well, it only has to do with sizing the infiltration beds.
Right.
It only has to do with square footage.
Yeah, it's got to do with square footage, and so, you know,
And if 3.8 is too high, is it 0.6 or something
What,
with the peaking factor?
how was 3.8?
I don't know how that was calculated.
Because they took, as if we had sewered everything south of 28. They used completely the wrong number, and then they bumped it even further.
Yeah.
So it just
Yeah.
was an extreme rationale.
We just say that 3.8 is an incorrect number to use.
Yes. And I thought he
I
said.
think, I don't think you have to touch this answer, I really don't. Without telling you, without going back and saying you guys kind of messed up the question, you validate why you got the 1.8 number, which they sort of say, you know, is it a real number? You sort of say, yes, it's a real number. And then the last sentence says, we're recommending sewering, and it's only 0.29 MGD average
Right.
flow. So I think we've said, A, the peaking factor is right for the infiltration bed,
Yeah,
and the flow is only this.
right,
Correct.
Okay.
right.
Okay, 36, anything else?
Yeah, the last answer there, H7.
Yeah.
This doesn't discuss the watershed load to West Falmouth Harbor. I mean, we're talking about the plant only, but I just didn't know whether the 0.5 million gallons from the plant is okay with the existing watershed load.
The permit said it is.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And I think that's why the permit was limited to 0.5.
Right. Yeah, even the coalition agrees with that. They signed off on the permit.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, your point's well taken, but I think in here
It's been settled, so. Okay, anything else on 36? 37. 38. 39.
Just, wait, I've got to go back to 37 for a minute.
37.
So, yeah, on H8, is it, the recharge at Site 7, that's included in this estimate, is that right? In other words, we have a groundwater map that shows a watershed flow going here and there, and that the Site 7 is 30 feet north of the West Falmouth Harbor watershed. And when we start putting 0.3 million gallons a day into the ground, and it starts to do this kind of thing underground, is it gonna move into the West Falmouth Harbor watershed? Does this figure?
So we've done that, and it didn't move into the West Falmouth Harbor watershed. So we feel as though that modeling, and because there were no flow that was observed through the modeling to go into West Falmouth Harbor, so therefore it's not part of the watershed now, and it will not be part of the watershed in the future under those future conditions.
Okay, but you've done that modeling,
Yep.
and it shows that when that water goes in, it doesn't go 30 feet south.
Yep, correct.
We have a report on it someplace.
You know, there's been quite a bit of modeling on that, you know, and doesn't go to West Falmouth Harbor. I mean, the modeling has been done.
Much as some would like it to, it's not doing it.
No, I'm only, to me, it's, you know,
Okay.
it seems like.
Okay, well, it's settled and you've reported it, so
Yeah.
let's keep going here. 37. $38. 39.
Only one, just December, and J4, December's
Oh,
misspelled.
sure, right, J4, December, yep.
Yeah.
On 38 and 39, there was a study that was done, as I say, about this PALS report that was talking about nitrogen entering. And I understand from a presentation that was given in West Falmouth to the community there that either 40 or 70% of the, I wasn't there, 40 or you guys were there, but 40 or 70% of the nitrogen would go into Crocker Pond from that site.
Crocker Pond doesn't care about nitrogen. Crocker Pond cares about phosphorus.
I know, but
41% of the particles pass through Crocker Pond, yes.
But according to this PALS report, it already is kind of at an upper limit. And if phosphorus, there's 2.4 milligrams per liter on average coming out of our plant right now.
Right.
Future, I don't know, but right now. And that is going, if phosphorus now, we don't know yet what will happen with that. And that could augment this.
Well, for Site 7 to be approved, something has to happen with the phosphorus to reduce it from getting into that pond.
And Crocker Pond has to be evaluated.
Right.
And the PALS report does not establish a water quality limit. We have to, with the state, determine the appropriate water quality limit for phosphorus in Crocker Pond.
Right. And
that's a narrative type discussion. It's not like it should be 0.3. The PALS report is among the best, you know, they may be right, but I think it's an issue to be discussed.
Okay, and I guess also too, we are working on that right now. I mean,
Right, ways to reduce the phosphorus before it gets to the pond.
Right, okay, but I mean, it doesn't really answer the issue, because it should say basically that in addition to what's stated here, that those potential impacts will be mitigated if they prove to be an issue.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's all.
You can put that in, right?
okay, and I'm sorry, where was
This
it
is
going?
J1.
J1, yeah. I'm just.
Actually, would it be helpful to perhaps, you know, there was a town meeting vote taken that said that we would do evaluations to make sure we don't do harm, right?
Yes.
Would it be helpful to, you know, say that the town meeting voted that we have to do this? I mean,
Town meeting didn't vote that anyway, but town meeting voted that, according to the language you put into the article, it voted that no discharge would take place until the evaluation was done. Right?
okay.
All right.
Evaluation.
No, my point
When
was,
was
I
this?
guess, I'll step back if it's a hot button. I just thought
Right.
the fact that people are sort of saying, you know, as we're responding as FEIR, there's someplace a sort of formal vote that says we will do certain things, or that certain things will have to be done. I mean,
But it's not.
Okay, it wasn't town meeting.
No.
It was town meeting.
Well,
It was last fall.
it's not going to add much to what we tell Ms. Bunker, because she already knows more about it than we do.
So,
Well, what about the
Until we do
Okay.
the evaluation.
all I'm saying is that that there should be a statement in here that says that if there is an issue with phosphorus transport into the pond, it will be mitigated.
Well,
How about
that's
the
what,
last
that's
sentence?
the
You
last
change-
sentence.
You change
Yep.
it, you change can to will and add if necessary.
And it's not any phosphorus, it'd be whether it's a significant level of phosphorus. We're not
Yeah,
mitigating.
he didn't say any, he said, he didn't
Oh,
say.
I'm sorry, I thought you.
So,
I'm just saying
look at the last sentence.
I did.
Okay.
Okay.
And-
Wastewater treatment plants somewhere on planet Earth or in the
All right.
universe.
Okay.
No, I'm proposing you say wastewater treatment plants will be modified.
No,
If
we have
necessary.
our wastewater treatment
The
plant.
discharge at this site
Right,
is what you're
right,
talking about
exactly.
here.
That's right. Will be,
Modified to provide additional level of treatment in the future if needed,
Right.
right.
okay? If needed.
Okay, so waste,
Not even
it's
in
the our
future. It will
wastewater.
be modified.
Yeah, our WWTF
Right.
will be operated to provide this additional level of treatment in the future if needed.
If needed.
Okay, we got that, you think? Yep. Okay.
Okay, good night. Thank you for coming.
Good night.
I'm gonna say good night.
We're gonna lose Matt,
Okay.
you can see. Some people have to get up in the morning and drive to Westport.
Okay, we had another 10 agenda items.
39,
Where's the way there?
okay. 40. 41.
I would suggest that in the response L2, first paragraph, the last sentence could be struck.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Don't-
they can be smarmy, we don't have to.
There is a higher road sometimes.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Pollyanna statement, right?
Yeah, take out the last sentence.
Oh, okay, I'm in the wrong one.
L2,
Page
L2.
41, L2,
page 41.
41 L2.
first paragraph, last sentence.
Makes sense.
You mean the one with Pollyanna or the one that treated water?
The one with
Characterizing
Pollyanna.
Science and concept is almost Pollyanna is not.
L2, last sentence, second to last sentence. Sorry. Anything else on 41?
It may not be warranted, but we don't have to. remind them.
42,
They may be horribly regretting writing that out themselves.
43,
There's a typo in 01,
Yeah, last sentence.
second to last line, it's 4 sewers.
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah.
Faux sewers.
Oh,
Those are fake sewers.
Fake sewer.
And they misspelled faux.
Anything else on 43?
I'd like to just say that I think that we should not commit ourselves to using sewering in those areas at low elevation where we may decide that they're not good. We should leave ourselves open to doing something besides sewering in those areas.
Like,
Those lower areas where you would have to modify the sewer system in order to make it work if we decided that they needed. I would like to be able to take those areas out of it, like Catomet Street and other places like that,
Well,
and do something else.
we're in a jam there
Yeah,
because
I know we are.
DEP made it very clear to me that if Little Pond needs to be 100% wastewater removal, then that means every property that's in that zone, in that lower watershed, has to be in the sewer system. That was the reason for their comment back in the beginning when they specifically named the streets. So we have complied and been responsive to their very direct objection. And I actually think that if these properties get flooded, there won't be the houses there. I mean, you aren't going to live on a house that has to be on stilts with water underneath it all the time. So it'll resolve itself.
I hate to see us sewer the place at a cost that's high and then find that we didn't need to because they're going to be eliminated after a while.
Well, it's worth noticing that most of the
Well,
area
is
is not to be
Is
sewered.
not to be
Well,
sewered.
yeah, we're talking about areas, apparently, at the lower, not just
Well,
Katomet Street.
Well,
but there's other
everything
parts
south of Kasama Street
is not going to be sewered anyway.
gets nothing, right?
Right.
And
That's
everything,
that's in the velocity zone
right,
almost.
so
Yes,
all these
it is.
people get nothing, so
Yeah.
you're just talking about this area.
You're talking about
Right.
a small area there.
That's right.
I would just like to see it possible for us not to sewer that area. if
Well,
we decided we would.
No, he's talking about the area
That we are
south of
planning
the
to
area,
sewer.
north of the area
He's
we're
talking
not
about
sewering.
Sycamore and so on.
The short answer is DEP won't allow
allow
us
it.
not to if it's in the contribution zone of
Yeah.
Little Pond.
I think, and also, we're gonna do all the other stuff you're talking about, hoping, and you're saying we won't, but hoping we don't have to sewer north of 28. Because we're hoping with the sewering of 28,
Yeah,
agriculture,
Right, right.
that
yeah.
the sewering is done.
Right. And
Right.
there's one more thing, Win. The checkerboarding and all the other discussions we're going to have in the fall, as this map becomes common knowledge, okay, it gives opportunity for these property owners to use
decide not to
another
go.
system, right? So at this point, in terms of direction to the engineers, they're going to put a sewer in everything, that property that's within our watershed line. But there's still several years during which the property owners themselves can decide, okay, I'm not going to get onto that train, I'm going to do something else.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, wait a second, before we go on, I've got to go back to M1, just on page 42. In the case of the UK studies, the treated water was discharged directly to surface waters, or it was, are you sure of that?
Well, that's their statement. We're
Where?
not.
It just says that it got into it. It's like our,
This is Molly Bang's statement.
Yeah.
I don't know, whoever, but the thing is that,
We don't know if it's,
you know what I'm saying though is that you're saying, in that case though, the treated wastewater may be been discharged the way we discharge it here in Falmouth. We don't know, I don't know. It says water is discharged directly to surface waters. It doesn't say in here that it was discharged, it just got into surface waters somehow, I don't know how. So we're making a statement under it with an assumption.
Are you asking what the
Where
basis,
are we
what
now?
the basis of the question was?
No, the basis of the answer.
Where are we now? precisely?
M1.
we're back on
M1.
page 42
Oh,
at
okay,
the very
we went
top.
back, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So what you're asking is was the answer formed because somebody knew that the reference was actually to
Yeah,
the effluent from wastewater treatment plants going to streams?
directly into streams,
Right,
yeah.
right. Well, without knowing
But we're
the
getting an
entire
answer.
history of like wastewater treatment in Britain, I can tell you what I do know of Britain. Most of the wastewater that is in Britain is going into treatment plants and then going into the river. So much like I think there's an EPA study that was done, I think on the Ohio River, I'm suspecting that the report has to do with wastewater treatment to receiving waters, not to groundwater, Ron. But if your point is that we need to research this more,
Well, my question is just to be sure that what we're saying here is that you're saying if we put it into a ground infiltration site, then maybe things are okay.
okay, so maybe the answer should be rephrased to say, there have been studies showing concern when treated water is discharged directly to surface waters. And that will take care of, because there are studies talking about that where people have measured that. You know,
But we don't, see, yeah, we just don't, I don't know, I'd have to go back, I have to go and
Okay,
check that out.
We're not checking anything much more out tonight. We've got 20 more pages.
No, I know we can't do it tonight, but I'm just saying that this needs to be, I can look into this
Okay.
and see if we can, I'll do that and get back to you.
Okay,
Right.
42, 43.
There's a typo in the last, next to the last sentence, area 4
Should
sewers.
that-
FAUX, that's misspelling the word foul.
No,
44,
no, on 43.
43.
43, the high energy usage to operate, this is what Matt was asking. This,
These are
Point.
comments from Christina Rowley.
yeah.
Do you know her?
Some-
Oh, really? Oh, dear. No, but-
Chairman of the Vote No on One committee.
Right, no, that's okay. What I'm wondering here is, I mean, in here that's asking about
Home
the
address.
comparative analysis. of the various things with regard to energy use. That's what Matt was suggesting, that's
But
what-
what's wrong with the answer? We can't change her comments.
Right. I don't think I can.
We wouldn't even try.
I'd rather, yeah.
Yes.
You better know.
No, well, the question, the answer to the answer doesn't answer the question, or does it? It says the sewer extension of the lower Little Pond watershed area will not provide the complete solution of meeting TMDLs. But in terms of the, but from here it's talking about from the energy demand side alone, because she's interested in climate and climate change. A comparative analysis of wastewater management alternatives for Falmouth is warranted before going with the design construction expenditures. Okay, basically, to do that energy analysis based on the town's, what is it, the town's plan, comprehensive plan. So
I think we're gonna do the analysis. I don't think the analysis is gonna change the recommended plan. We don't intend to waste energy. We may use more energy than others want. And as we go forward with other demonstration projects, energy use is one factor that will be considered, and it may be a deciding factor.
Well, can you put that in a statement that goes in the answer here?
Part of this answer is saying that, Christina is saying that more than one solution is gonna be necessary, and I feel like the answer is sort of saying yes, more than one solution is gonna be necessary for Lower Little Pond.
But from the energy, I'm talking, Matt raised this question as well. From the energy demand side alone, a comparative analysis, from the energy side, this statement should say that energy analyses will be considered in the selection process or whatever.
Because the question's all about energy and the answer isn't.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. And it's also the answers about Lower Little
The first
Pond.
sentence of the answer,
Yeah.
delete the second sentence, and say something along the lines of
Energy will be
energy as well as many other parameters
Energy will
be compared.
Energy will be one of the factors used in the
Right.
in the subsequent analysis.
Right.
Energy use or consumption or something.
Energy will be a factor in subsequent analysis.
Yeah, I guess the thing is that I think that she's asking for that evaluation to be done, as it applies to the Lower Little Pond area.
Yeah, she's asking for Lower Little Pond to look at not only sewering, but also all the other options, and looking energy for all the other options. That's what she seems to be saying.
Yeah.
I think what the committee and what the adaptive management plan says is that for the demonstration projects as part of their feasibility, that sort of evaluation will take place.
Yeah, well, I know, but she's saying it should be for the whole.
Right now, I don't believe that there's support for doing those sort of evaluations as it applies to the Lower Little Pond watershed area.
Then say that.
I would say I support
If
it,
you
but
want
I
to say
think
that,
that's
say
what we
it.
are saying.
I will vote, I will abstain from this.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
The camera.
All right. Maybe this should be a roll call vote. Okay. Wait. You can certainly say it's not, that kind of an evaluation for that particular location is not part of the town's plan. Is it?
For Little Pond suicide.
For the Little Pond suicide.
It's not part, we're past that point of Little Pond.
Right, it will be in all these other alternatives in the future.
I'd like to go on record as saying I think it ought to be for Lower Little Pond as well as the others.
Okay.
But I understand what the committee's position has been.
Well, it's not the committee anymore, it's the town and the town meeting and the voters. So we're moving along with them. Okay, anything else on 43? 44. 45. 46. 47.
Now wait just a second.
48?
Just one second.
47, hold up.
I think on R9, I think that we will want to discuss financing, discuss environmental justice as part of the financing discussion and the betterment discussion.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it's not going to be just over the demonstration project. It's going to be over what we're doing right away.
That's right, but I think something should be said about that.
So rather than say it's not part of the evaluation scope, why don't we say that environmental justice is a concern, and that it will be factored in as the town reviews various options to reducing costs to homeowners or affected homeowners.
Right.
Do we, and I think I got shot down before, the term environmental justice has different definitions. I think we're looking at evaluating the economic impacts to a wide spectrum of individuals. What is environmental justice? How do we define it? How does this person?
At 10:15, we're not going to.
No, I'm just saying, fine, I think we get sucked into a term that we don't know what it means.
Well, I think Virginia got it right. The economic impact on people is going to be
Among other things, that means the economic impact on poor people.
Right.
Yeah, but it's the among other things. I think,
Yes.
I'm sort of siding with Jerry on here. This is this phrase environmental justice and the way it's used by different groups has got a very, very sort of broader meaning than just economic costs.
Okay.
Almost always, however, it has to.
I'm just saying,
Okay,
for us, I'm just, and I don't want to discuss, I don't want to debate the meaning of environmental justice at 10:15 at night.
No.
Right.
Our response is, environmental justice was not part of the evaluation scope. Do we agree that that's true?
No, I don't.
You think what we have done so far included environmental justice?
I think necessarily.
You're suggesting it's needed, but I'm saying the statement.
We haven't done it. We haven't done it yet.
We haven't done it yet, but we've always said we were going to do it.
Okay, and we are. How about economic impact on affected homeowners? I think that's what we're concerned about.
So environmental justice was not part of the evaluation, but economic, whatever, may be warranted when the damages are being evaluated. So I think we could.
Yeah.
You know, we might want to come back to this later on in a future meeting or when we get to some more information to come back to the environmental justice discussion. But
Steve, I think part of the disagreement between you and Wim is different understandings of what the evaluation scope means.
Yeah.
I'm not proposing we get into that, but I think that's where you two are diverging.
It's the impact on low-income individuals.
No, non-environmental justice, the evaluation scope. When, for what? I mean, plant that we're proposing to use, or that we already used for Little Pond, or what?
So we're part of the betterment discussion.
All right. Somebody make a motion.
So I would say, let's take out was not part of the evaluation scope, but add in the language that Virginia suggested, which is environmental justice is a concern and will be factored in as the town proceeds. I may not have gotten the
It
line.
looks
Yeah,
at
that's
reducing
good.
costs to affected homeowners.
Instead of using the phrase economic justice, which is freighted with
environmental justice,
stuff.
it's not economic, it's
Say-
environmental.
Let's say the economic impact on residents.
Oh, residents.
The economic impact upon residents.
Yeah, good point.
That's the part of environmental justice which we are concerned with.
Right.
There are other aspects of environmental justice, such as people who place people who are poor near plants that pollute.
Right.
That's another aspect of environmental justice. Don't do that.
Right.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
We're not
because
talking about
We're not
that.
talking about that.
He's just
We're talking
saying
about the
there's no
economic impacts
discussion.
of
Economic,
environmental
exactly.
justice.
Okay. We got that? Anything else on 47?
Actually, I didn't quite capture how that's going to get modified.
Okay, so we're not going to say environmental justice. We're going to say the economic impact
On residents.
on residents is a concern and will be factored in as part of the analysis of costs.
Be factored in as
I had,
Go ahead.
as the town looks at reducing costs to affected homeowners.
Okay.
Good, good.
looks.
Good. 47. 48.
Oh, excuse me,
Oh,
before.
47. Yep.
I think it might be useful on R11 just to say a reference to A5.
Rather than no responses
Yeah,
required?
I mean, that's what we're saying. We're saying we're leaving phase 1 and phase 2 out of it. I think that's what A5 says, isn't it? A5 explains what we're doing.
I,
A5,
I'm still.
A5 or A1?
Is it A5? Well, I think A5 is the one I'm looking at.
That one says sewering of the previously referenced phase 1 and 2 areas is not part of the FEIR at this time.
So this,
And that's what he's talking about.
In one breath, they're worried about economic justice, and the next breath, they want us to sewer Seacoast Shores.
Yeah, yeah,
Hello?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to say CA5.
I think that might,
Thank you.
yeah.
What, okay.
All right, response R11 becomes CA5, which says we're not doing 1 and 2 and so on.
Okay. On R12 then, I think that there's some misunderstanding. This, when we look at this plan, which has, you know, with all the sections going right up to Quoit Bay and then even north of 28, you know, when we look at this R12 response, the plan is to deal with that whole area one way or another. And I think that by saying we're only focusing on the Little Pond lower watershed is a little misleading, because the plan includes more than that, right? It includes dealing with that whole area to east of Quoit Bay now, apparently now. So it's sort of a, Quoit Bay East.
You could say,
So I'm just wondering, this is giving an impression that all this is about is just this one area.
I think you reference A5 again at the beginning of that statement. And that would,
Okay, I'm just saying that I'm not comfortable with that representation.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's not,
It's sort of contentious to say, well, yeah, we're not going to spend 500 or 600 million on Little Pond. It's a little contentious. But
Well, the real answer, which addresses your point, is that if we're going to reference something before it, look at A5 plus A6.
okay.
A5 deals with Lower Little Pond. A6 deals with the demonstration projects
Mm-hmm.
and also talks about north and south of 28. So if you want to answer these by kicking it back to something earlier, then you probably want to
think that
reference both of those.
So we
You're right.
take out the cost of recommended plan?
I would, yeah.
Haven't got a subset question at this
yeah,
point.
yeah. No, I'm just looking at this in terms of, to respond to that, what we don't know really at this point is what the cost's going to be because of the adaptive management and everything else we're going through. So whether it could be 500 or 600 million.
Well, we know. We know it.
No, I mean, I don't expect it to be.
Right,
but,
and the 500 to 600 million was also building another plant
Right.
at MMR and sewering everything south of 28. So it's a true statement that this piece of information he's gotten from something that is 2 chapters or two whole periods back.
Right, yeah.
It's outdated.
But my concern is more that it seems like that our whole issue now, and this is the way I feel it's been represented, is that we've taken the $600 million plan, reduced it to 320 million, and now we got it down to 45 million or 50 or whatever it is, and there. Isn't that great? And I think that but we have a bigger problem than that. We have a bigger problem than that 50 million.
Yeah, we do.
But we don't know what it's going to be because we don't know what's going to come and how it's going to work out in time. But this looks like we're just saying, extension to Little Pond watershed. We're out of it.
Well, we know for the next 10 years, this committee and these selectmen and this town meeting and these voters aren't going to pay for anything else beyond what we've painted in this picture for the
45
next
million.
10 years.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
Right.
that's a true statement.
yeah, and that's about as far
In
as
the next
people-
10 years.
Yep. There won't be any more sewering in the next 10 years.
I'm
No,
not
I'm
coming back to
saying
recommend
sewering. I'm
anymore.
not
I don't
saying
know about you.
No, I'm not saying sewering. I'm saying addressing the problem. Okay, that's, the problem is bigger than just that.
Yeah, but Ron, you're forgetting our very first page, okay,
Yeah.
the executive summary and our very first response here, which clearly spends most of the text talking about the demonstration projects. Okay,
Right.
so we're not presenting a picture that says this is only sewering or mainly sewering.
Can I say something about R12? We agree with everything in the Sierra Club sentence here.
Yeah.
So why don't we just say that?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I just think that to cite, he's not just talking about Little Pond, we're saying Little Pond watershed's not gonna cost that much. Okay, that's true, for sure, better not.
What he says, we agree, right?
Yeah.
We agree that we don't want to spend 500 or 600 million.
So the answer should
We
just
want all
be,
these
we agree.
people to develop, exactly, we
We
agree.
agree.
We agree.
See
Two
our
words.
statement in
We agree.
A5 and A6.
We agree.
Yeah, we
Write
agree.
it down, move on.
A5, A6.
All right,
That's fine,
That's
that's
the
okay.
answer to that.
I think that,
Yeah.
otherwise it's,
It's contentious. Yeah.
Okay, 48. $49. Planting trees. How do we get planting trees in here? Okay. 50. 51. 52.
Wait a second. On T2,
Okay.
I thought maybe, I don't feel strongly about this, but to speak especially to Earl's last sentence there, does not offer strategy, you could say, these technologies, if proved effective, may be applied to other estuaries and ponds.
okay.
Sounds good to me. Good.
Okay, I'm sorry, so
As an addition to that, or?
In addition
If
to
these
T2.
strategies work out, they can be applied to other
Yeah.
parts of the town.
Mhm. Yeah, that's good.
Or not, as we choose.
It's the may.
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 52. 52. 53.
wait, on 52,
52.
It's a deck of
I mean, I'm not sure if T3 really is correct. I think that we have considered things about water use. And one of the factors is the eco toilets are water conserving elements, and the urine diverting toilets are water conserving elements, and we have all the eco toilets basically. And so I think that to say that we haven't considered that, I think that we have, because we are spending money
How
to
about that?
evaluate
Right. Okay,
those.
fair enough.
Well, the impact on the capacity is zero, right?
Cassie, what? Of,
You have toilets now, they flush the water. The water coming in doesn't know where it's gonna go when it goes out.
no, I know, but if we have, by including a demonstration project on eco toilets that conserves water,
Right.
right?
Try going to page 55. and see the
T2,
answer
are we
to
on
T2.
T2 or T2?
Because that's a very specific thing about
Well, it's just
eco
saying,
toilets and saving water, and we agree.
right, well, I'm just saying, but the evaluations were part of what we did.
Okay, forget what I said.
Okay.
I don't think it's fair to us to say we didn't consider it. It's being considered because we're looking at
Okay.
those alternatives.
right, you're right.
And we don't know how far they're gonna go.
Anything wrong with that? Let's do it.
These evaluations will be part of the demonstration projects that we're doing.
There are part of the demonstration.
Our part of the demonstration.
Aren't we getting?
Yeah.
Right, right, our part, yeah,
And we
exactly.
saved
Right, that's true.
Our part
30%
of the
of the water,
demonstration projects,
whatever it is, so, okay.
which are currently being evaluated. Okay,
Of the
52,
demonstration projects.
'53.
Let's look at T9 for just a minute. I wrote down here not quite the point, and I'm not, let's see. I think he's talking about two different kinds of flexibility, but
Which one are you looking at?
On T9, he says that,
I see your point.
yeah,
We're not in the business of defending the virtues of permanent central sewer infrastructure.
right. They may provide flexibility to meet changing regulations because we can meet them within the plant.
Well, his-
But once they're built, they're there. I think that the point he's making is that once you build them up front, they're there. I think that's his point.
Well, Pauline's Wiki says that, also openly says at almost every meeting that these systems are
What system?
problematic. Central sewer systems are.
I don't think you,
cost.
I think we're oversimplifying statements.
Yeah.
Centralized systems have benefits in,
Oh, no, they
Yeah.
definitely, yeah, there's, in terms of
they
that,
have
but,
flexibility to remove CECs while others may or may
Yeah.
not.
Well, the point here is the Falmouth plan is to minimize the use of central sewer system and to
Yeah.
maximize all, any
Yeah.
alternatives that prove to be worthwhile.
That's,
yeah. Well, then we can also add that to
It does
T9,
not.
is that what
We
you're saying?
disagree. We should say something like, we
You-
believe that the plan does not prioritize sewer infrastructure.
You could leave everything that's there in T9, and you could say, however, we are certainly considering many alternatives as well. I mean, we've listed the advantages of central sewer, but we're saying that doesn't mean that it's the only thing we're using.
other alternatives are seriously being evaluated,
Yes.
other non-central, seriously being evaluated.
However, we continue to evaluate the demonstration projects.
I would turn it around, I would say, I would make the response, I'm going down the CS path. The response should say, the draft plan prioritizes demonstration projects to evaluate alternatives
Okay.
and only recommends sewering for a very limited area.
Yeah, that's better.
Where
Yes.
where
You got it.
we feel
Excellent.
that is the only, yeah,
You got it?
It just, it's
No,
the
I-
fact.
We're there.
Yeah, right, I mean, I think,
Let them start off by saying we're prioritizing sewers. We've done everything we can to figure out how
Yeah.
not to build sewers.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
53, anything else on 53?
You get that, Nate?
The plan prioritizes the evaluation of demonstration projects.
Yeah, that's where the first money came.
Yeah,
And only.
And only.
and only,
Recommends sewering in limited area.
You're doing the first draft, he's doing the second.
No, I'm not doing this one, I'm doing
Oh.
the executive
Oh,
summary.
okay, sorry
He's
about that.
doing this one.
Nice try.
I didn't know.
I don't
I
know.
was a little hopeful there too.
All right,
Easy.
nothing else on 53? 54.
wait, yeah, in 53, the only thing is that we've, it says valuations of Proctor Pond have been added, okay, that's great. The other areas, I presume, are no longer an issue because we're no longer using Site 10. So should we answer that as well?
Well, Herring Brook still stays in.
Okay. So we put evaluations of Proctor Pond,
And-
Herring Brook.
And West Falmouth would
Just
still
strike the word
stay in.
these. Evaluations of other water bodies have been updated.
Where are we? Oh, T10 is what you're looking
Strike the
at.
word these, so it's not so specific. Evaluations of other water
Of other water bodies, yeah, right,
Or pertinent ones,
Yeah.
T10,
something.
first line, the answer.
right.
Otherwise,
Next, last word,
it
these,
looks like we're overlooking the thing, right?
No.
Okay.
Evaluation of other,
Okay.
yes.
54 are we on now? The last sentence in T11 doesn't seem to add anything.
Okay.
Yeah, right, the last doesn't even have a period at the end. I guess it got lost, the thought kind of stopped halfway or something, but.
All right, 55?
I would say too here that, that instead of that last sentence, strike it and say something that the public participation will be continuing as part of the process.
Mhm.
So it isn't like we're just talking about
Right.
in the past, we did this, but
Fair
just to
enough.
indicate that there will be opportunities.
Right.
I would say that,
Will continue.
and hopefully there's,
You could say has been a regular contributor at those meetings and is welcome at all future meetings.
Well,
But look at
I
the-
mean,
look
I
at
don't
the-
just-
Look at the response to T16, it just says, we've never to provide operative public and will continue to do so. I mean, we make that, we give that response a little bit later. Whatever.
it says also CT14, which is something
Yeah,
else.
you've covered it in 16, yeah.
T14 kind of drops off the page as well.
We're saying we distance ourselves from what the Cape Cod Commission did.
And we have
do.
to. We were,
Yes.
we were not in
With good
control,
reason.
and
Nothing
that's
to do with
why T15 is me. I really think it was regrettable. I personally think the Cape Cod Commission did not handle this very well.
Right.
But we were in no position to change that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, but anyway, I think that, okay, the T16 might say, well, or else you just say at the end of T11, CT16 or something.
I don't think we ever limited anybody to 3 minutes.
No, never.
Well, so she's wrong about that.
We sometimes didn't get to it till the end of the meeting. You know, we got through our
Well,
meeting,
that-
and then there wasn't much time at the end.
Yeah, but-
That's true.
Life is like that, but we never.
Page 56.
Where are we?
All right.
All right, fine. 56.
I would recommend we move to page 56.
I second that. All right, we're gonna move to 56. Okay, 57.
Oh,
Not 56.
wait, go back to 56 for a second.
Okay.
U3 says evaluations of Crocker Pond have been added to the CWMP/FEIR as well as evaluations of CECs. Is that correct?
No.
No.
And groundwater flows? I think
Groundwater,
it's great
yes.
that it is.
Groundwater, yes. CECs, no, I don't think.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything on CECs.
The only thing which we will be doing on CECs has to do with eco-toilet
No,
projects
Well,
when they
okay, so-
finally,
So that's not
when we
this.
look at the future.
And groundwater flows to the West Falmouth Harbor.
yes.
As well as evaluations of groundwater flows to West Falmouth Harbor. Yeah, I mean, that's, or absence thereof.
Okay, so forget the CECs.
Right.
Okay, anything else on 56? 57?
Well, wait, on 56, is alum only used?
Alum?
Alum, it says here that Ashumet Pond is treated with alum as
Yeah.
needed. But I thought it was at least once a year, if not more
Oh,
times.
no. Nope. In fact, I think it's not even every other year.
It's as needed.
Like every third year?
I
Yeah.
don't know, someone goes out.
I think it's only been done twice, at most, maybe 3 times, but it's,
Wait, I know it's been done more than that.
It's not yearly.
it's definitely
It's
not
not
yearly.
yearly.
It's not yearly, okay, okay.
All right, 57. '58,
Uh,
57.
56, the full energy usage for eco-toilet should be evaluated by demonstration projects. But it doesn't say, the first line of that wasted energy thing is sewers use large amounts of energy to pump water. And now we're only focusing on eco-toilets? Should we not also be looking at sewers?
Well, so the
Why-
energy usage, the total life
Energy usage
cycle
for
energy
all.
usage of all the alternatives will
Yeah,
be
they should
considered
all-
in the
yeah.
evaluation.
Or of all options, that's fine.
Oh, right,
but
you're
that
right.
was-
You're
yeah.
right, not just second dose,
I
right.
wouldn't just put it,
Will be,
For all alternative.
for all options will be.
all
evaluated.
options, yeah. People could continue.
I just caution you to not be so specific about things that we will do. Okay? It may be
Right,
something we
true.
would like to do or might do, but the comment makes a statement, the sewers use sewers use a lot of energy.
True.
And then goes on to say eco-toilets use a small amount of energy.
True.
It's a comment, it's not
You
even a
could say we
question at that
agree.
point. It's not a question at that point. We could say,
We agree.
We agree.
we agree,
We agree.
Yeah,
Let's
and-
say that.
okay?
Yeah, all right, yes, let's say that.
Yeah.
okay? We agree eco toilets use small amounts of energy. You know, we agree, yeah, it's, because in the response document, you make a commitment that you will be doing this evaluation, you better
And then
produce
you
it at
get
some point.
held to it.
That's right, somebody will do that. Okay,
I
57.
think we better do it, but, yeah, okay.
We can choose
57.
to, if we write it in now, we've made the commitment, that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
We may only want to compare energy of a couple of things, not everything. You may do it with, in your plan, get all this wonderful data comparing all these energy usages of different systems, and then we can just scale it up for the whole town.
Okay.
Oyster Pond.
57? On U7, I would drop its efforts. Just
Continue to educate, yep.
Sure.
I'm sorry, what was that?
U7.
U7,
Drop the word its efforts.
Yeah,
the fifth and the sixth words have been stricken.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, anything else on 57? 58. $59.
Wait, let me go back. I'm sorry, but 57, I thought there was an estimate of like 30,000 per house for sewers. So far, it was like a $30 million for something. Was there some
40,
figure?
40.
There was,
4,000.
there was a, there was a 14,000.
24 plus hooking up.
What?
Plus hooking up.
no,
I just don't know. There was some estimate.
The comment put in
Yeah.
the 30,000. That actually goes all the way back to the time of the review committee.
Yeah.
When we initially generated some what-if scenarios, and remember, we were still talking about sewering a larger area.
Right.
That's, if there's any validity in this number, it comes from that old information. So this statement that the cost per household has not yet been estimated for the town, that's a correct response.
But Jeff gave us a figure that was like what you said, 24,000
Something like that.
per
Yeah.
house,
Yeah.
plus the hookup. That comes to about,
6,000.
I'm not sure that Jeff ever gave us a number, he gave us an estimate of the system.
Right, total cost.
And he had total
house,
units, and somebody
total
else
units.
did.
And somebody else did the math.
The
In
total
fact,
cost
I
is
think it was Steve
44,000.
Layton.
There's
1,700
1,700
was the
houses.
number. It came out
Right,
with the
right,
figure.
right.
Somebody else
40,
did the division.
48,000 or something.
So,
Right, something
but I
20,
make the suggestion here. The statement says that at a cost, it will force people out of their homes, implying that each homeowner will be charged $30,000. I actually signed up for all of this stuff early on because having lived in New Silver Beach and being told a number, and then being told a different number, and then being told a different number after that, and then having it disappear for a couple of years, and then coming back with a final number, I sort of said we've got to be really careful about producing a number, and when we produce it, have it be a real number. So we have not yet produced a real number of what it will cost an individual household. Let me finish, because this is a hot button for me. So I'd like to say that the cost to each individual homeowner has not yet been estimated by the town.
Yeah, you take out the 30,000 here.
That's you're getting closer.
Right.
You know, because I think we said earlier,
At some point, we're going to set up a number that we think each homeowner's got to pay.
but with
But we haven't done it.
every effort on the town's part to minimize to make the system affordable.
Well, what if we say something
Right.
like, the actual costs of any system have not yet been determined, and furthermore, the fraction of that would have to be paid by the homeowner has not been determined either.
I would keep that's a long answer. It's probably really close to the real details.
Yeah.
But in this thing here, I try to keep the answer simple. I want to
Right.
get this back to the simple. The cost to an individual homeowner has not yet been determined.
That's
We
a
don't
fair
have a
figure.
number out there.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's all we need. We don't need to say subsidies for low-income residents.
Yeah.
No.
We can say that forget that.
So we're gonna end by the town.
The
But
cost to
The
the
cost
cost to an individual homeowner
Homeowner has not yet been
estimated by the
determined.
town.
Period.
Right.
And eliminate all the rest.
Yep.
Well, I think the line that says, and will be estimated as part of cost distribution in the future is fair.
Okay.
We're going to do that. At some
Yeah.
point, we've got to figure it out,
Yeah. Okay.
There's some of it.
Okay. So leave that. Fine.
okay? Yeah.
Okay. Good.
And if people want to strike
I
out
think that-
considering subsidies, that's fine too.
But I think
Yeah.
that does it.
Yeah, we
Because
got-
that's what I think our intent is.
Right. 57.
So I think it's
58. 59.
60.
On 60, I have a couple of suggestions. I think it would be better to say, instead of V8, on V8, I think instead of saying sea response V6, the eco-toilet demonstration project will assess this, would be better.
Now, what's the question? Using fresh water?
Yeah.
But
They're talking about solution of using waterless toilets and fresh water and so forth.
oh, okay, all right, I see what you're saying.
That.
Well,
Yeah, because it's,
it would be more responsive than just saying V6 to say
yeah.
that the demonstration project for eco toilets is exploring this.
That's right, that's what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was saying.
Okay, you want to do that?
And the same, let's see. No, there's one other one. On the next page, there's one other
Yes,
one
there's
also.
several more for V6.
In fact, several of those, yeah, the other ones that go to V6 can then go to that one,
Yeah.
to V8.
Could go, yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Or actually, it would be.
All right. Anything else on 60? 61?
I think V11 could, the same thing.
Yeah.
Demonstration projects are designed to do exactly what she's talking about.
That can first appear at,
Well, it wouldn't hurt in this particular case to say the same sentence, because to say the same sentence several times.
Yeah.
sure.
Demonstration project for
Right.
eco toilets is exploring this.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying it begins earlier than V8.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
not sure exactly where,
Yeah.
but
Right.
you can put it
That's a
wherever.
little more user-friendly.
Right, right. It's more user-friendly.
Yeah, V7 also, yeah. V7, V8.
Okay.
Yep, I get quite a few of them here.
Well, you're coming back to V6. I don't know if I'm comfortable with V6.
Could use a V8.
I could use another one of those little chocolate things.
Well, feel free to go and get one.
Yeah, we're getting close to the end, folks, and there will be no surprise to find that the rest of the agenda is going to be hugely abbreviated. We've got time for about 15 seconds worth of business, and then we're going to get home. Let's finish up here, though. 59, 60, 61, 62.
V14 should be the nitrogen biological fertilizer.
Right.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
call it- It's not the fertilizer, but it's the nitrogen
Okay.
control fertilizer.
Yeah. And 62 and 63.
Okay, so 62, we got, here's where the dredging comes into this,
Yeah, it's in there.
in this, but that's here, okay, but it's here, okay, but it's not in the executive summary, but
It
it's,
hasn't risen to that level yet.
All right. Any further additions to be considered? If not,
I
if not,
move
we'd
that-
be happy to have a motion.
Move that we approve this as we've amended it.
We'd be happy to have a second.
Second.
Happy to have a very short discussion.
I think it's acknowledged it could be tweaking as new facts come out of.
Right.
Yeah, look at
Well,
that.
and filling in chapters and
Right.
all that sort of stuff.
All right. Moved, seconded, debated. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
abstain.
Abstained.
Okay.
Also, I'd like to change my vote on the executive summary to abstain.
And so you're abstaining on this one as well?
Yeah, two, yeah.
Okay. As we've noted, the agenda is very long, and we're not going to do most of it. There's only two things that I think we have to do now. One is schedule of committee meetings for the next couple of months. June 6th, that's a week from today. Everybody good with that?
It's our regular date.
At the regular time, 7:30?
Yep.
Yeah.
In the regular place.
Yeah, unless, yeah, right here. June 20th, 2 weeks later, our regular time.
20th, huh?
We're going to meet at 7:30 next time?
Yes.
Yeah, unless something major comes up that requires a lot more time, we'll try to get back to 7:30.
Okay.
Okay, July 11th?
Okay, normally it would be July 4th, the first Thursday, but that's July 4th. So the real question is, shall we meet the following week
Do we have the space?
Well, we would find a
Oh,
space.
yeah, it wouldn't be this
More than
space.
likely, we would not be here if the CPC is,
Right.
you know,
Hmm.
using it. But we'll find a space. But because we'll be working on the body of the report, the final CWMP itself. So we really need, we can't just say, let's not have a meeting. We just have, the workload's too big.
There's an awful lot of other stuff too. I mean, we've been
Yes.
hearing from all of you and from others, we got to get going on betterments, we got to get going on this, we got to get going on that. We got June, July, and August to get going on all these things, and
Right.
you know how summer gets. So we're not going to have less meetings than these, and we might have to have more.
Right.
So July 11th.
July 11th, if everybody's okay,
July 11th, and then the 18th. There'll
Yes.
be 2 in a row.
right?
August
First.
1st and August 29th. How does that sound? So you get a
August
vacation.
29th?
You get a is that a bad day?
Not August 15th.
And I don't, that's
I'm
so
trying to
far
give it-
beyond my horizon, kind
I'm
of
trying to give
drops
us
off.
trying to give us a little leeway in August, because you know what happens in August. You know,
Yeah, no, August, yeah, right.
Yeah, we're all training for the road race.
we're always,
So look at this, we're doing a marathon right here. We're
Good night. Thank you for sticking it out.
Good night, Chris.
So August 1st and 29th.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that okay with everybody? Okay.
August 29th or 21st, do we say? 29th?
Okay.
29th. So we have a, okay. What are all these blue moon months we're getting here with all these triple dates in them? July.
What's this?
Review and vote on minutes of prior meeting. Have we received minutes of the last meeting?
May 2nd, right?
Everybody got the May 2nd minutes, and I'm sure you've read them carefully and have any comments or additions, any motions to amend? Any motion to accept?
Move to accept the minutes as written. Very detailed, very thorough.
Second.
May it moved and seconded. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Got it. Motion to adjourn? All these other items, I'm not going to do this at 11 o'clock at night. They'll be the first thing on the agenda in a week.
I can give an update that
Let's get out of here. We've been here for 4 hours.
Just wanted to remind the chair that we were thinking about the June 6th, which is our next meeting,
Yeah.
having a public meeting with the commenters, as, remember,
We may not be able to. But
Okay.
We can.
And just a very, very quick update. I realize that the meeting's closed, but see ya, you and I tomorrow morning, and Ron. We're meeting with the chairman of the Conservation Commission and the Conservation Commission. Are you going to attend, Jerry?
I'm sorry?
You going to attend tomorrow morning?
No.
Okay. And this is, I had coffee one day with the Conservation Commission chairwoman. She was talking about, the whole program and where we're going with it. And she started asking about data analysis stuff. I said, well, if you're affiliated with the institutions here, if you have any leads on insurance that might be interested in helping us, she's produced at least a lead and a person from USGS and one or two bodies that might be able to help us as the summer unfolds and data starts to arrive to do data analysis. So the conversation tomorrow is data, where it's coming from, and perhaps identifying things we want to do with the data in a way.
Is this pro bono kind of thing?
Yeah, these people need some stuff to research, so.
Well, there you go.
So that's good.
Publication, yeah.
I thought that was a generous offer on
Okay.
their part to help out.
Okay.
You got a sneak preview about next week. There may be some additions, but the things that are on this agenda that we haven't gotten to today will be first.
And I would bump into that because we have a meeting tomorrow morning.
Right, no, that's fine, that's fine.
There's one thing I would like to at least get just a quick ruling by the chair on.
Okay.
We have been given the possibility of being at the farmer's market.
Oh, yeah.
And I just want to know, is there any problem with my making arrangements with the farmer's market to either have a single place where we present the eco-toilets there, or someone sitting there and...
No, I can't think there would be.
No, I think that's
we'd
fine.
be encouraging it.
And we'd pick up the fee if they charge.
They won't charge
They
us
won't
anything.
charge. No, this is an invitation.
No, this is an invitation from one of the
Fertilizer in the
people who
future.
manages the farmer's market to sit at their table or to come in and do things. They don't charge us for that.
Go with our blessing. Okay.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn has been made, seconded. Discussion, all in favor? Aye.
No.